Live on a Saturday night, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the last game of the three-game road trip as the Grizzlies take on the Iowa Heartlanders. Hi, everybody. I'm Tyson Whiting. We'll talk with Tim Broussard a little bit later on as the Grizzlies look to salvage the third game of this series. On Wednesday morning, Iowa got a 3-2 victory in the first game of the set. Kyle Mayhew and Dylan Fitz each scored goals for Utah, but two power play goals for Iowa made the difference. They scored late in the second period with Davis Kosh find the back of the net, and then Liam Coughlin, 5:27 into the third, broke the 2-2 ties. He made it 3-2, and Iowa held on for the one-goal victory. Last night, it was all Heartlanders as they scored 3 goals in the first 16 minutes of play. Davis Kosh had 2 goals and 1 assist, and Peyton Jones had a 30-save shutout as Iowa won their 5th straight game, and they scored 4 different ways. They scored 5-on-5, they had a power play goal, they scored shorthanded, and they also scored on Utah's empty net. Dakota Raby and Nathan Burke each had 5 shots for the Grizzlies, and Utah actually had a 30-29 shot edge in the contest, despite the fact that Iowa outshot Utah 16-3 in the first period. That meant in the last 2 frames, the Grizzlies outshot Iowa 27-13. We got an interesting goaltending matchup tonight. Dante Giannuzzi makes his professional debut. Giannuzzi for the Grizzlies played in one of the preseason games that was in Idaho on October 14th. Giannuzzi spent the last 5 years with the WHL's Portland Winterhawks. And with Portland, he had a record of 23-13-3. That was last year, and that was the best season he had in the WHL. And overall, in 5 seasons, he had a record of 59-32-10. Giannuzzi will be wearing number 73, and he'll make his professional debut as he'll be in net for the Grizzlies. Trent Miner will be the backup. And starting for Iowa in net is going to be Drew DeRitter, who's making only his 2nd professional start, as DeRitter played in 1 game with Kalamazoo last year and got the loss, so he's 0-1 professionally. Last year, played at the University of North Dakota, where he had a record of 13-9-4 with a 2.53 goals against average. DeRitter's not a very big guy, 5'11" and 180 pounds. So we'll see what happens tonight as both goaltenders come into play with a combined 1 professional start, as DeRitter makes his 2nd pro start and first this season, and Dante Giannuzzi making his pro debut for the Grizzlies here tonight, as Utah is going to go with 11 forwards and 6 defensemen this evening, and it's going to be an interesting one as the Grizzlies look to end the 2-game losing streak. Iowa's on a roll right now. They have won 5 in a row, as it's the 2nd longest winning streak in Heartlanders history. They had a 7-game winning streak in the 2021-22 season, which was their first as a team. It was their first year of existence, as Iowa is in their 3rd year of existence. So it's going to be an interesting one as Grizzlies take on the Heartlanders. Everybody make your pick for the Optum first goal of the game as to who's going to score first for Utah. And when we come back, we'll talk with Tim Broussard and get his thoughts on things. We're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting, joined here by Tim Broussard, as Utah's got a record of 4-5. Iowa 5-4-2. They have won 5 in a row. Tim, it's going to be an interesting night of hockey. I know the one thing for the Grizzlies that they want to get accomplished, they want to get off to a faster start, as first periods have been a little bit rough as of late.
Yeah, they need to do something because giving up the amount of shots they did in the first, that just puts you from behind the 8 ball, and then trying to struggle to get out from a 3-goal deficit to go into the second. That's a lot to ask for against any team in the ECHL.
I think for the Grizzlies, you're looking to try to find a way to get some goals early, get Dante Giannuzzi settled in, and see if he can pepper Drew DeRitter, who's only making his 2nd pro start and first this season.
Right. What a goalie battle. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Battle of rookie goalies. Giannuzzi's first and DeRitter's 2nd. This is kind of what you want if you need to start, feeling better as a team. Hopefully get out there and get some sustained offensive pressure. You'll know we're doing well if we have a sustained attack time in the offensive zone.
One of the things we haven't seen in Grizzlies games much this year is power plays. Utah is the least penalized team in the league this season, averaging just under 7 penalty minutes per game. Grizzlies, on their own account, they've only had, I think, 24 power plays of their own, a little bit less than 3 per game. Utah's power play has actually been pretty good. They're 7th in the league. They were actually tied for 2nd going into last night's game. They've got a 23.1% power play percentage, but the unfortunate thing is the Grizzlies just haven't had that many power plays. Hopefully, they can get some of those tonight.
We were talking about this last night. You wonder if that's a measure of energy and the amount of effort we're putting into it. At some point, penalties aren't necessarily a bad thing if it means that you're being aggressive and you're pushing the play, and as long as they're not the lazy penalties, which would be, the hooking, tripping, holding. If it's a physical type, then, you're willing to accept that if you're a coach. But hopefully the Grizzlies can, do something to show the energy. And if it means taking a couple penalties, great. But with great risk comes great reward. Hopefully we can also generate a few power plays and see if we can't get something going there. Obviously, you said the percentage that we have is, 7th in the league. So let's see if we can exploit that.
And the big thing, though, in generating power plays, just playing hard, utilizing your speed and those sort of things, being a team that's hard to play against. I think for the Grizzlies, they got to pick it up a little bit more and being a team that it's going to be a little bit hard to play against tonight.
Yeah, right. Right now, and our record indicates that we're not very hard to play against. We're not quite a feel-better team, but, we're not exactly – you can come in with a B-plus game plan or, a B game plan and do just fine right now. So hopefully I think we can change that with the amount of energy and the amount of pressure that we can bring, and that's going to be speed and just really all out heart.
Who do you think's the pick for the Optum first goal of the game? Didn't get one on Friday. Who do you think scoring first for the Grizzlies tonight?
I think Cutler. I'm gonna go with my guy. The way that he in the first game of the series, the way that he was active, minus the takeaway from last night. Yep. But I think he's got the skills and the talent to do that, and I expect him to come out. What do you think?
I think it might be a defenseman tonight. I got Kyle Mayhew, who scored the first goal on Wednesday. I think Mayhew's going to get Utah's first goal this evening. Tim, we'll talk to you during the intermissions, some timeouts today, and mixed in a little bit there, and obviously post-game as well. And we'll have some fun here in the Grizz Cave watching this thing.
Sounds great.
As we're hanging out in the Grizz Cave at Maverick Center, the Grizzlies are 1 time zone away. Everybody in Iowa is happy right now as the Iowa Hawkeyes got a 15-13 victory over Illinois in Big Ten football. As Iowa's record goes to 9-2, I think they're actually going to the Big Ten championship game where they will play either Ohio State or Michigan, or check that, lose to Ohio State or Michigan in the Big Ten championship game. We'll link them back. We'll have the starting lineups for both teams. We're in business on a Saturday night as the Grizzlies take on the Heartlanders in the last of a 3-game series. We're back in 30 seconds with the starting lineups on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. We're back after this word from America First Credit Union.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to Grizzlies Hockey. Let's get to the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who have a record of 4-5 this year. They're led by head coach Ryan Kanasowicz, who's in his 3rd season at the helm of the Grizz. He's the all-time leader in goals, assists, and points in Grizzlies history. The assistant coach is Christian Horn. Starting in net, Dante Giannuzzi making his professional debut. Giannuzzi, the last 5 years, played in the WHL with the Portland Winterhawks. Giannuzzi listed at 6'1" and 190 pounds. He'll be wearing number 73. The backup goaltender tonight is Trent Miner. Starting defensive pairing, Kyle Mayhew, who's got 3 goals on 13 shots this year. He also has 1 assist in 9 games. Mayhew, 5'8" and 160 pounds. He won a national championship with the University of Denver back in 2022. The Grizzlies captain, Josh Wesley, is Mayhew's starting defensive partner. Wesley has 1 goal and 3 assists in 9 games. So Mayhew and Wesley are the starting defensive pairing. We will also see Keone Teixeira paired up with Jacob Semick and Corey Thomas paired up with the Colorado College captain Brian Yoon from last year. Yoon's got an assist in 3 of his last 5 games. Starting forwards, Dylan Fitz, who's got 3 goals in his last 3 games. He has 3 goals and 2 assists in 7 games. He'll be one starting forward. He'll be wearing number 13. He'll be paired up with Nathan Burke, who's got 4 goals and 2 assists in 9 games, and Brandon Cutler, who's Tim Broussard's pick for the Optum first goal of the game. Cutler leads the Grizzlies in shot attempts. He also has 2 game-winning goals this year. For the season, Cutler 4 goals and 3 assists in 9 games. So the starting forwards, once again, are Fitz, Burke, and Brandon Cutler. Other forwards we're expected to see tonight include Mick Messner, who's got 2 assists in his last 4 games. Brett Stapley has 4 points in 4 games with Utah, including 1 goal and 3 assists. Cole Gallant, the Western Michigan product. Gallant, 1 goal and 2 assists in 9 games. Dakota Raby will be out there, the Michigan man who completed his college career at Sacred Heart University. Raby's got 2 assists in 6 games. Dean Yakura, number 5, the 38-year-old, has 1 assist in 9 games. And the Rooster, Jordan Martell, wearing number 27, Martell, has 3 goals and 5 assists. He's got a +1 rating, which leads all Grizzlies forwards. We'll also see Jared Powers got 1 goal in 8 games. And, of course, the Grizzlies Iron Man, Tyler Penner, will be in there once again. It will be his 154th consecutive regular season appearance. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight include Cody Cron, who's yet to make his Grizzlies debut. Hopefully we'll see him next week when the Grizzlies take on Newfoundland. Michael Underwood also out of the lineup, as is defenseman Cade Jensen. The Grizzlies also without Jordan Stone, and the third goalie is Garrett Metcalf. Now for the homestanding Iowa Heartlanders, who are sporting a dark jersey with kind of silver numbers and one of those pink roses in the front of the jersey. Iowa's goaltender is Drew DeRitter. It'll be his first appearance this season and only his second pro appearance. He played in 1 game with Kalamazoo, and he suffered a loss. He's 0-1 with a 4.18 goals against average and .892 save percentage in his pro career. Last year at the University of North Dakota, in 30 games, he had a record of 13, 9, and 4 with a 2.53 goals against average and .899 save percentage. Starting defensive pairing, Ben Brinkman, the rookie out of Notre Dame, 6'1", 220 pounds, 1 assist in 11 games. He'll be wearing number 4. He'll be paired up with the Iowa captain, Kevin McKernan, who has 3 assists in 11 games. Starting forwards, it's Iowa's top forward line. Jake Derflinger has 2 goals and 4 assists in 10 games and a +4 rating. Will Calverley is wearing number 18. Calverley is 5'9", 174 pounds, 2 goals and 5 assists in 11 games and a +3 rating. And Liam Coughlin, who's been one of Iowa's best forwards in this series. Coughlin, 3 goals and 2 assists in 11 games. Also watch out for Davis Kosh, who was the number 1 star on Friday night. Kosh actually scored a big power play goal in the second period on Wednesday to tie it up at 2. So Kosh has really made an impact in this series. Also watch out for Odin Tufto. He hasn't scored a goal yet this year, but has 3 assists so far in the first 2 games of this series. Jesse Jocks, number 88, has 4 goals and 4 assists in 11 games. Nick Campoli, 3 goals and 2 assists in 11 games. He's been pretty good as well. One roster move for as opposed, from what last night's roster looked like. Forward Louis Boudon was called up to the AHL's Iowa Wild. When we come back in a minute and a half, we'll have face-off over at Xtream Arena. As we're in business on a Saturday night, you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
It's a great night for hockey as there's two big standings points on the line tonight as the Grizzlies look to salvage the third and final game of the series as Iowa won on Wednesday morning 3-2 and last night got a convincing 4-0 victory. Interesting goaltending matchup. Dante Giannuzzi makes his pro debut against Drew DeRitter as Peyton Jones has been outstanding for Iowa. He had a 30-save shutout. It's his second ECHL shutout. He had one with the Grizzlies back in the 2020-21 season. We'll talk about that when we have time. As we'll see if the Grizzlies can find a way to generate some offense against Drew DeRitter, who's making only his second professional appearance and first this season. Grizzlies in the white jerseys with black numbers and professional green trim. Third straight game where Iowa's numbers are pretty tough to spot from the wide angle. Dark jersey with dark numbers. Grizzlies get it as Wesley throws it towards DeRitter, as looks like a late arriving crowd as they're still celebrating the Iowa Hawkeyes victory in Big Ten football against Illinois. Deep in the Grizzlies zone as we're 20 seconds into the game as Iowa skates the far goal line, centers it out in front, shot saved by Giannuzzi. As the Grizzlies, Kyle Mayhew will backhand it out towards Dylan Fitz. It goes past him, and it looks like Utah is going to get called for icing as we'll get our first whistle 30 seconds into the game. Draw's going to be towards Dante Giannuzzi, who won 59 games in 5 years with the Portland Winterhawks. The backup goaltender tonight is Trent Miner, who started the first two games of this set. Giannuzzi was actually a teammate with Harriman native and former Grizzly forward Mason Manick for 3 years in Portland. Draw in the far circles, won by Utah as the Grizz throw it towards Josh Wesley, the Grizzlies captain, who shovels it out to center ice. Puck bounces in the Heartlanders zone, not to be confused with the Hawkeyes. It's Hawkeyes and hockey over there tonight as Corey Thomas moves ahead. It glanced off a Heartlander stick and goes to Cole Gallant, who tried to get to Dean Yakurit, bounced off a Heartlander near side. Gallant battles as they've entered the Heartlanders zone. I'm going to be saying Hawkeyes all night as Brett Stapley skates towards the right circle, feeds it up top for Brian Union, fires a righty shot, and it goes wide as far circle. Mick Messner, wearing number 10, gets pushed in the left point. He gets knocked down. Iowa gets neutral ice. They nudge it ahead. Grizz chase after it, and it looks like it's going to be icing as everybody stops skating as Iowa in their own territory dumped it in. As Odin Tufto argues his case, as Messner just got dragged down in the left point. No call is made as the officials have let him play in this series. Third straight game. The referee is Michael Zyla. The linesmen are Greg Offerman and Grant Crowell. Crowell, the linesman, first time he's been there in this series. As Iowa wins the draw, they skate from right to left as we see it on Flow Sports, and your mind's eye see it on YouTube as puck goes out to center ice after the Grizzlies won the face-off. As Utah will skate down the middle as they enter the zone. Raby feeds to the corner as it looks like Utah is called for offside as we get a whistle with 18:33 left in the first. We've had quite a few whistles here early on as Draw's going to be at neutral ice. The Rooster Jordan Martell paired up with Raby, and it looks like the Grizzlies are going to mix up their line combinations a bit tonight. Dean Yakurit will take the draw against Campoli, numbered 89 for Iowa. As Utah wins the draw, Teixeira, right wing, dumps it in. As it rolls around the boards, it goes to the left corner. Iowa kicks it back to the right side. About 2 minutes in, as the Heartlanders lift it, looks like it goes out of play as 140 is into the game. And is it going to be delay of game? I don't think it is, as Draw's going to come back towards the Heartlanders zone as we get yet another whistle, 140 in. I guess they're just trying to get all the fans take a little bit of time as they're still probably getting over there from the Iowa football game. As Yakurit will take the draw against Campoli for the second straight time. This time, Iowa wins the draw as the Heartlanders try to lift it out, and it goes to center ice as Grizz dump it back in, skating from left to right here in the first period. As the puck glides along the right side, as Utah, Dakota Raby gets hit. And coming up with it is Campoli. He skates down the middle. Now he enters the zone. Ships over to the right side as it rolls along the boards behind Utah's net. As Iowa feeds it back to the right point. Righty shot. And a save by Giannuzzi as he made the stop about shoulder high. Campoli gets pushed by Dean Yakurit after the whistle. Teixeira and Jacob Semick over there protecting the crease. As we get another whistle as Giannuzzi made a save on a high liner about shoulder high and gathered it. As you think about that little confrontation there in front of the crease, That's probably what the Grizzlies need to do. They need to make sure that they're assertive physically, as they've been the least penalized team in the league, and it's a good thing to be disciplined. But I think the Grizzlies want to put a little bit more force here tonight. Tyler Penner will take the draw against Davis Kosh, who's been public enemy number one for Grizzlies fans' eyes. Off the draw, right wing, righty shot, and a score. And it's public enemy number one, Davis Kosh, as looked like the shot was taken from the right side, and Kosh gets the rebound as he skates to the bench first. Just as we were talking about Davis Kosh, now dominant he's been in this series. He high-fives everybody on the Heartlanders bench as he has given the Heartlanders a 1-0 lead as Iowa's taken the first 4 shots of the game. Let's see if they'll show a replay. They obviously do when the home team scores a goal. Shot was taken by Stucker, and it was another high liner. Bounced off of Giannuzzi. Kosh got the rebound right side, just inside the circle, and fed it past Giannuzzi. That was a very similar shot that Giannuzzi made a save on a few seconds before. But this one just bounced off of him, and Kosh got the rebound and put it away. 2.5 minutes in, Iowa leads 1-0. As puck goes at the Iowa blue line, Cutler keeps it in, but it looked like the puck exited the zone as the Eagle Eye linesman calls him for offside. 2.5 minutes in, and you'd love to see if the Grizzlies can get some puck possession here, as the first 4 shots have gone Iowa's way. Both teams are pretty similar in terms of the amount of shots they've taken. In fact, the shots have been pretty close to even in each of the first 2 games of this series. Cutler will take the draw against Liam Coughlin. Draw won by Iowa as they'll lift it out to center ice. Mayhew chases after it, far side, and he gets there. He gets pushed in the back as Mayhew will shovel it out towards center ice. Actually, it stays in the Grizzlies zone. Burke will toss it off the far wing boards. It goes into the Heartlanders zone as Ben Brinkman, the big defenseman, will glide it along the near wing as puck is off the screen. Looks like Grizzlies enter left side. Fitz rolls it along the wall. Brandon Cutler shovels it back to the corner that he vacated on the right side as Iowa gets challenged by Cutler along the near boards. Heartlanders throw it deeper in their own zone as it ricochets off the backboard as Brinkman will backhand it out to a fellow defenseman as Kevin McKernan throws a blue line to blue line pass. It doesn't connect, but no icing as it got redirected on the way. Grizzlies, the far goal line, move it ahead. Grizz dump it in. Messner chases after it as he collides with Hunter Lelig, number 5, the big defenseman. As Iowa's got good team speed, they move it ahead. Heartlanders throw it towards the middle. They couldn't reach it as they were looking for a centering pass. As puck goes back to center ice, Landon Kozier chases after it. Cole Gallant enters the zone. He loses his balance, but gets it to Stapley. As Stapley along the near goal line skates back towards the right point. Stapley throws it to the corner that he vacated. As Cole Gallant gets it, he gets pushed in the back as Gallant gets on one knee, keeps his feet as Messner throws it around. It's cut off by Kozier behind Iowa's net. About 4 minutes in, Heartlanders lead 1-0. Iowa enters from the right side. They get to the circle and they blow a tire. Grizzlies battle as Burke will clear it out. And it looks like it's going to be icing as DeRitter looks on. Iowa gets and touches the puck up on the right side. You don't need to do that in this day and age, but icing is on Utah as Justin Wells was over there for Iowa. 15:54 left in the first. Iowa's taken 4 shots. Grizzlies yet to take one. So puck, it seems like this whole series just been along the perimeter, along the boards. And the Grizzlies just need to find a way to get that centering pass through to get that scoring chance. Yakura will take the draw against Campoli, and it's won by Iowa. Left point, lefty shot is blocked. I think that was taken by Wells, number 14. Right corner, deep in the Grizzlies zone. Utah delivers a hit. As Stapley over there as Jacob Semick as Iowa, right side, shot save, rebound, shot save by Giannuzzi as he made 2 stops. Now Iowa around the net as they're over to the near side. They feed it to the point. Wells throws it across. Iowa, right wing shot, goes wide as ricochets off the end boards. Wells, left wing, lefty shot, saved by Giannuzzi. And he holds on as already 7 shots for Iowa in the first 4.5 minutes. Grizzlies yet to take one, and you'd love to find a way if you're Utah to get some momentum here in this third game of the series, as Iowa's won the first 2 games, and here so far have taken the first 7 shots. Kosh, the goal scorer, will take the draw against Dean Yakura, as Kosh got the rebound on a shot that was taken from the right side a few minutes ago. Off the draw, left wing, righty shot, saved by Giannuzzi. And the puck might have deflected out play. Not sure where the puck ended up, but play stops. Draw is going to be once again in the left circle, as Kosh will take it against Dean Yakura. Now Kosh is kicked out of the circle. Tufto will take the draw. Tufto 3 assists so far in this series. as Dean Yakura will take it for Utah. As Yakura crouches down, 14th year pro for Yakura, as the linesman drops the puck, and the draw won by Iowa as Kosh throws it behind his back, right point. Iowa right wing shot goes wide as it ricochets off the end boards. Martell over there with Mayhew. Mayhew gets the puck. He skates around Giannuzzi's net with speed. Left wing pass, Grizzlies cross center. Now it goes back to Yakura, who lifts it in as it bounced off the left corner on one hop of the ice. Raby over there. Martell along the end boards gets pushed. Yakura hacking away as the Heartlanders throw it back to the corner. Yakura feeds it up top for Wesley. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by DeRitter, as that should be the first shot for Utah, unless it got blocked in front of DeRitter. As we get a whistle, looks like we get either a high sticking penalty or the puck was played with a high stick. Looks like it was just played with a high stick. As the draw is going to come out to center ice with 14:45 left in the first. Iowa leads 1-0 as Davis Kosh picked up his 6th goal of the season. Kosh now leads the Heartlanders with 11 points. As Cutler will take the draw against Liam Coughlin. Coughlin scored the game winner on Wednesday. Cutler's got 2 game-winning goals this year. Iowa wins the draw. They skate towards the left corner as they dump it in. As Utah, Brian Hume playing physical. Grizzlies clear it out. No icing as Utah might make a line change. DeRitter near goal line will drop it off. As Brinkman spins it along the wall, it goes back towards Utah at center ice. Thomas lets it go past him. Grizzlies dump it in. It looks like they're called for icing as they're trying to get it to Fitz, who was hanging out the Iowa blue line. As we get another whistle, 14:23 left in the first. Iowa leads 1-0. Looked like they didn't give a shot to Wesley. It might have gotten blocked just before it got to DeRitter. As on the score bug, it's still 8-0 on the shot count for Iowa. Draw on the left circles, won by the Heartlanders. Iowa, left wing, righty shot goes wide. As a lot of action and a lot of bodies out in front of the net. Puck drifts off the near wing boards. We get a whistle. And let's see, there was some action away from the puck. And it looks like the draw is going to come back in the Grizzlies zone, as there must have been something away from the puck that stopped play. So a draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Still 8-0 in the shot count, 14:15 left in the first. Kosh got the goal 2:12 in. The original shooter from the right side, Robbie Stucker, picks up an assist. That's his first point this year. It's only his 2nd game with the Heartlanders this year. Campoli takes a draw against Cutler for Utah. Iowa wins the faceoff as puck glides along the near wing, as Grizz will bounce it off a Heartlander near circle. Utah gets to Cutler, who's trying to locate the puck. He gets it. He backhands it as it lifts in the air, bounces it neutral ice near side. Grizz in the attack zone, but Iowa comes up with the puck as we're 6 minutes in, and Iowa leads 1-0 as they throw it to the far side. As Iowa gets to center and they feed it across. Iowa enters. Campoli skates the left circle. Shot saved by Giannuzzi. Rebound. Thomas gets there first and throws it off the far wing boards. Burke shovels it out to center ice as Stapley, just outside the Utah line, gets held up. Stapley now breaks free as he gets knocked down on 2 knees, delivers a pass towards Teixeira, who will dump it in, as taken as Chris Lipe, number 3, 8th game for Lipe this year, 6'1", 194 pounds, defenseman. He throws to the Utah blue line. Grizz throw it back to center ice, and goes to Coughlin, who chips it ahead. Stapley picks it off at center ice. He crosses the red line. Now he crosses the blue and dumps it to the corner. Lipe gets it before it got all the way towards the corner boards, as Michael Knob, first game he's played in this series, throws to center ice. Grizzlies reset. Utah back in their own end, skating from left to right. As Iowa's outshot Utah 9-0, 7 minutes in. Heartlanders lead the game 1-0. As Grizz try to get to center ice, Gallant couldn't reach it. Iowa crosses center again, right wing. They fire a shot, saved by Giannuzzi, and he'll move it ahead. That might be the 10th shot for Iowa, and it is. As Teixeira gains center ice and dumps it in. Raby chases after it near goal line, but Iowa gets there first. Heartlanders throw it to neutral ice. Teixeira will lift it in as it bounces towards the near side and off the near wing boards. Iowa on their own end goes D to D. Now they throw a diagonal pass to center ice to Kosh. Kosh enters. He's just outside the left circle, dancing around. He gets pushed by the Rooster. Iowa over to the right side. Now back up top. Lelig, right wing shot. And it's deflected by Yakura as Iowa, far side, feeds it up top. Good poke check by Martell as the puck goes into the Heartlanders zone. Iowa chases after it. Martell gets it. Crease shot. Saved by DeRitter. Great effort. It looks like a penalty is going to be called as Martell and Stucker. Oh, are they going to call it on Martell? Oh, boy, they were just chasing for the puck. Stucker got Martell just lifted Stucker's stick a little bit, took a shot, but it looks like Martell is going to get a penalty as they're going to call hooking. Boy, that's not a good break for the Grizzlies. 12:03 left in the first. Based on the replay I saw, I'm not sure about that one. Looks like Iowa's going to be on the power play. That shot that Martell took is the first for Utah. We'll come back in 30 seconds as looks like Iowa's on the power play. Martell gets 2 minutes for hooking as Iowa leads 1-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. .12:03 left in the first. Martell gets 2 minutes for hooking as he was just in a one-on-one battle. Looked like he just lifted Stucker's stick and then got the puck. It was one of those. I'm not sure Martell did enough to commit a penalty there, quite frankly. As Iowa's on the power play, as draw won by the Heartlanders. They throw it to the right wing. Iowa leads 1-0 as the Heartlanders throw it back to the right side as they get it up top to Landon Kosier. Now along the far wing boards, Iowa's numbers are a little bit tough to spot as the Heartlanders throw it back to Kosier on the right point. He's quarterbacking this power play, drifts it back towards the right circle. Now back to Kosier, who feeds it to Kosh, left side, lefty shot, saved by Giannuzzi. Rebound goes out to Utah. Penner tried to clear it out and fanned on it as Kosh gets it in the left side. Davis Kosh gates towards the circle as he's dancing around. He surveys. Kosh, very patient with the puck, feeds it across to Skater. Right side, lefty shot, saved by Giannuzzi. A lot of bodies in front of the crease, and Giannuzzi covers up. Great job by Dean Yakura, Tyler Penner, Kyle Mayhew, and Josh Wesley out in front of the crease, making sure that Giannuzzi was able to cover up. And in particular, good job by Kyle Mayhew as Odin Tufto is trying to hack away for his first goal of the year. Looks like both teams, the Grizzlies made a change at least. Cutler will take the draw. We're not sure how much time's on the Martell power play. I think we're about 45 seconds into the power play as they don't have the time of penalty on the score bug. Draw one by the Grizzlies. They skate around Giannuzzi's net in his pro debut as Utah will clear it all the way out. And it goes to Drew DeRitter. Now, if DeRitter wasn't there, probably would have gone in. Would it be considered a shot from 200 feet away? It is. 2 shots now for Utah. As Iowa gets to neutralize across center. Kosh, who's been a thorn in the Grizzlies side. Over to Coughlin, who feeds it across. Kosier, try to get it back to Kosh. It's picked off. Grizz cross center with momentum. Nathan Burke, 2-on-2. Burke skates along the right side and throws it off the end boards as he mishandles. Iowa, I think, poked it away. Iowa gets it back. They skate from right to left. As late in their power play, they get it to Kosh. Kosh actually was in the area, but somebody else had the puck. Kosh was over on the left side as Iowa to the right. As they roll it along the boards, Kosh on the near side as he gets hit by a Grizzly. Cutler trips up Iowa, no call. Goes to the left side. Kosier feeds to the right circle, swing and a miss. Now goes back to Kosier in the high slot as he fires a righty shot towards the net. It goes wide. Coughlin behind the net, gets to the right side, and now they get to Kosier, right point. Across to Kosh. Kosh gets it back to Kosier's now in the high slot. Now to the right circle, one-timer, and Giannuzzi makes a save. Rebound goes out to the far side. Here, Leighton Martell's penalty. Grizz clear it out. Good penalty work, kill work by the Grizzlies. Iowa had a couple looks, but it stays 1-0. As Martell's going to come out of the box, I believe, soon. As Kevin McKernan back in his own end. Martell is out of the box. He's on the ice right now. Successful penalty kill for Utah. Martell in the offensive zone across the Teixeira. Right side lefty shot. Saved by DeRitter. Rebound shot. Saved by DeRitter again. As Teixeira took the blast from the right point, bounced in front of the crease. Messner had a good look, and DeRitter made that save as well. As DeRitter couldn't gather it, Messner was in the area along with a Heartlander, and Messner just fired it right back to DeRitter, who was able to hold on with 9:44 left in the first. So Utah's up to 4 shots. Iowa 13 here, halfway through the first period, as Iowa leads 1-0. As they're working on the ice a little bit, as they got a media timeout. We're here with Tim Broussard hanging out in the Grizz Cave. Tim, what have you noticed so far?
Giannuzzi needs to do a little bit better on rebound control. First game jitters, I get it. First period, I get it. First 10 minutes, understood. But you're still out there and you've got to watch that puck coming in. And I'm sure he's not used to that level of traffic. In a game time situation, it's different in practice. He's going to have to overcome that and learn how to deal with the traffic in front of him and control his rebounds.
And some of the shots have been a little bit high, about shoulder high on him.
And then that can be purposeful to try to generate, a type of a rebound. Typically you get the low, you want it about 12 inches high, off, so it's just above the stick level, causing problems for the goalie to control it. But he's going to have to rise above and figure that out.
Draw is going to be in the Iowa zone as 9:44 is left in the first period. We'll talk with Tim during the next media timeout as Martell's on the left side, Raby to the right. Yakura crouches down to take the draw against Campoli. Draw won by Iowa. They skate from right to left in this first period. So it looks like the fans are still hanging out in Iowa at the football game, as it looks like they'll be on their way. Hopefully they'll be there by the start of the second period. Iowa skates in, play stops. Heartlanders might have been called offsides with 9:35 left in the first. It looks like the draw is going to come back to neutralize, so offside was the call on the Heartlanders, as Yakura will take the faceoff once again. He certainly earned a lot of ice time based on what he's done as a two-way forward, and in particular, the good job he does on Utah's penalty kill. And he did a good job on the penalty kill when Martell was in the box a few minutes ago. Iowa wins the draw, left wing. They dump it in as the Heartlanders kick it back to the near side. Grizz get it as Teixeira lifts it in the air, and it's gloved at the Iowa blue line by Justin Wells. He'll feed it across. Iowa gets it back to Wells, who skates down the middle. He's now neutralized. Now he'll drive it in as Giannuzzi gets it behind his net, wearing number 73. He'll throw it to the far side as the Grizz will try to get it to Martell. It stays along the far side. Raby battles, but Iowa cuts in front of them. Now the puck goes back to Dean Yakura. Right wing pass to Martell, and it gets poked away by Coughlin. Well, Iowa's been on point defensively all series. As Coughlin gets the puck, he crosses center ice. Now he veers to the right side as he enters the zone. He threw it to the corner. Derflinger was trying to get over there, but Grizz get it back. Near side, Martell crosses center ice with speed. He'll dump it in as it goes over to the right corner. And the Heartlanders get there. It looked like a Grizz player was trying to gather it and just couldn't. As puck goes to center ice as Utah chips it ahead. Stapley dumps it back in as Iowa throws it back to center ice. Mayhew moves to Stapley. Those guys were teammates at Denver in college. Over to Cole Gallant, right wing, righty shot. Saved by DeRitter. And after the play, Stapley gets pushed down unnecessarily by Coughlin. And now some real pushing and shoving as Brinkman now pushes with Stapley. Calverley in the area with Cole Gallant as a Grizzly player just got dragged down right after the whistle with 8:19 left as Cole Gallant took the shot and Stapley got pushed down. And it doesn't look like any penalties will come of it. As they show the replay, Stapley, kind of a routine save by DeRitter, made the body stop. And then Stapley is skating towards the goaltender. And Kevin McKernan was letting Stapley know that there's don't get in front of our goaltender, even though Stapley really wasn't all that close to DeRitter. I think they just wanted to kind of make a point there. Drawn looks like it's going to be in the Heartlanders zone, and this is the point where you start counting players. Looks like there's 5 on either side, so no penalty on what the lame cliched broadcasters would call a little bit extracurricular after the whistle. As off the draw, Messner, right wing, lefty shot, saved by DeRitter. He holds on with 8:17 left in the first, so after Iowa took the first 10 shots of the game, the Grizzlies have responded and have taken 6 of the last 9 shots of the contest. Messner tried to go 5-hole on DeRitter and almost got it, but DeRitter was able to close up and make the stop. Utah wins the draw. Gallant in the right point. As Iowa took it away, they tapped it off the near boards. Action still in the Iowa zone. Right point. Gallant spins it across to Mayhew. He's on the left side. Mayhew skates to the corner. Drifts it to Stapley behind the net. I try to wrap around. Shot saved by DeRitter as Messner fell down in front of the crease. Now 2-on-2 battle in the corner as Kozier and Stapley push each other. Messner holds up a Heartlander. Messner trying to break the puck free as Messner continues to hold on. Puck still along the boards. Tufto comes out of the pile with the puck. He skates towards the far side as Iowa will shovel it out to center ice. 2-on-1. Iowa skates down the middle. They drift it out in front. Shot. And it goes wide as they try to tip it out in front. Wesley, right wing pass connects. Cole Gallant Skates towards the right side. Great poke check by Iowa as the Heartlanders throw it to center ice. Iowa crosses red. Left wing pass connects as they skate over to the left circle. Righty shot is deflected off the stick of Yoon and flies out of play. Good action on both sides as looks like the Grizzlies working on that transition game a little bit here in the first period. Iowa is a team that likes to play with speed as well as the Heartlanders get their top forward unit on the ice with Will Calverley, Jake Derflinger, and Liam Coughlin. So draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone near circle. 7 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first. Iowa leads 1-0. Coughlin will take the draw against Brandon Cutler. As a draw won by Iowa, bouncing puck in the left point as Derflinger couldn't handle it. Grizz gets to neutral ice. They move it ahead trying to get Cutler, but it got redirected as Derflinger, left wing, crosses center ice. He'll wrap it around the wall. Giannuzzi cuts it off behind his net and throws it to the near side as Grizz tap it left side. Iowa shot, and it's blocked just in front of Giannuzzi as Brian Yoon moves ahead to Fitz. Fitz throws it to center ice. Iowa picks it off. Less than 7 minutes left in the first. Iowa leads 1-0. Heartlanders skate in. Grizz, too many bodies out there in the slot as Fitz took it away. Fitz skates down the middle, high slot, righty shot. And I believe DeRitter made the save. The net was not on the screen as to where the path of the shot was. 2-on-2, Iowa enters. They fling it over to the left corner as Iowa gets pushed by Teixeira. Trying to break free is Fitz. Fitz gets the puck. As Fitz moves it ahead, the puck lifted in the air and gathered by Justin Wells near the Iowa bench. Bench areas are on the near side as we see it on Flow Sports. Campoli enters from the right side and patiently throws it off the end boards as Teixeira taps it to Stapley off the wall. Stapley, 2-on-2 battle as the puck squirts towards the slot. Utah gets it as Grizz throw it to center ice looking for Stapley. Stapley left side, looks to center it. Puck rolls towards DeRitter and it bounced off him towards the near side. As Utah, Penner delivers a hit on Justin Wells. Penner goes down, he gets back up, throws to the slot. Mayhew skates into the right circle. Mayhew surveys as he dances around right circle. He feeds it across. Now left wing, lefty shot, saved by DeRitter. He holds on. Well, the shooter was off the screen. We couldn't identify him. We just saw the lefty motion. DeRitter makes a stop. He has stopped all 80 as seen, while Dante Giannuzzi has stopped 12 of 13. Now, Tim, what have you noticed here? It looks like the game's kind of settling down, but both teams look like they're going end-to-end pretty quickly. Let's turn your mic on first.
Turn on the mic. That helps. With the transition and the breakout, I think we're lacking a little bit. Our decisions on passing and what we're going to do with it when we get it, I don't think are being either creative enough or fast enough. And we're letting not just the Iowa defense, but anybody come in there and get it, not just in the passing lanes, but challenge our puck. And then, like you said earlier, get the puck to the boards. And that's where Iowa's finding success. So we're going to have to find a way to overcome that and get back into where we're getting some east-west passing.
Well, it looks like Iowa's really challenging the Grizzlies. Yeah, neutral ice, really making it tough for the Grizz to get in the offensive zone with any sort of momentum.
Yeah, and they're doing that by collapsing early on the puck carrier. Now with Gallant's shot, I notated as a potential turning point because he was able to find some room on that east-west pass. So if they're going to collapse early and we can find the open winger, then there is room and some shooting lanes there, and I think that's what accounting for our last 6 shots or so. We're having a little bit of success there. Where the first 10 minutes of the game we had none.
Looks like Cole Gallant's found his way. We'll talk with Tim during the first intermission as Iowa leads 1-0. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first as Dakota Raby will take the draw against Yuki Miura. Miura, the native of Japan, third year with the Heartlanders. Raby's kicked out of the circle. Dean Yakura will take the draw as a face-off won by Iowa. They skate around Drew DeRitter's net. The backup is Peyton Jones, who got the shutout last night. As the Heartlanders lift it out to center ice, they throw it to the high slot. Iowa enters. They feed it to the right side. Iowa, shot blocked by Wesley. Over to the right point. Raby takes it away. Oh, but Iowa with a good back check. Martell takes it. He skates to the left side, takes a righty shot, and it goes wide. Raby with a rebound off the board. Shot saved by DeRitter. And we get a whistle. Well, let's see. Raby looked up to the heavens. I think he thought he had a good look. I think Utah might get a power play there. Great effort by Martell as Raby got held up and neutralized as Iowa recovered. And then Martell skated in with a ton of speed. And looks like Justin Wells goes to the penalty box. Martell took a shot that went wide, and then Raby skated with a lot of speed towards the net to try to get the rebound. And I think that's where the penalty was committed by Wells. So a good penalty by Wells, and the Grizzlies for the first time tonight will be on the power play. Utah is 4 for 10 on the power play over the last 4 games. 1-0 Iowa. Heartlanders win the face-off. They sell it to the right side. Stapley keeps it in. He throws it across to Cutler. Left wing, lefty shot. Saved by DeRitter. And he holds on. 5:08 left in the first. Good luck by Brandon Cutler, who leads the Grizzlies in shots on goal. He was just outside the left circle, and it just fired it to DeRitter. Dylan Fitz was out in front trying to redirect it, but DeRitter makes a stop. He has saved all 10 he has faced so far. Iowa still leads 1-0. Grizz win the faceoff as Wesley throws it to Martell, back to Wesley in the high slot. Right wing pass to Stapley, who throws it behind his back to Wesley. Shot, saved by DeRitter. As Wesley with a good look in the high slot. Fitz once again out in front of the net, but DeRitter once again makes the stop. Drew DeRitter played his college hockey at North Dakota last season, where it looked like he had a pretty strong year. He's not a very big guy. He's listed at 5'11" and 180 pounds. DeRitter, 23 years old, a native of Michigan. Faceoff's going to be in the right circle. Grizzlies on the power play as Stapley crouches low. Taking the draw for Iowa's Nick Campoli, who's taken a ton of faceoffs for Iowa this week. Grizz win the draw. Puck goes towards the end wall as Cutler feeds it over to the near side. Wesley over to the left side for Martell. Back to Wesley. Now it's a Stapley on the right side. Stapley skates towards the right circle across to Martell, but Iowa must have gotten a stick in the way as the puck goes back to center ice. Heartlanders have been pretty good with deflections and interceptions, those sort of things. Martell skates in right side, loses it. Iowa throws to the corner. Martell feeds it back up top as Mayhew gets it. He'll slide it to Stapley on the right side. Stapley faked it behind his back. He goes in, gets tripped up, shot saved by DeRitter. As Fitz throws to Martell, back to Mayhew in the high slot. He'll throw a right wing pass to Stapley, who throws to the slot for Mayhew, nudges to the left side for Martell, gets it at the point. Martell to the far goal line for Fitz, back to Martell as the Rooster surveys, throws it behind his back for Mayhew, who's on the left side, slides it down the middle for Cutler, who couldn't handle it. Iowa gathers it and clears it out. Less than 4 minutes left in the first period. It's Iowa 1, Utah 0. As Giannuzzi will throw it to the near side, Grizz spread the ice as Utah gets some new skaters out there. As Teixeira gets to center ice and shovels it in. This puck goes back to the near side as Iowa clears it out again. They're at center ice. Derflinger will dump it to the right corner and chase after it. Giannuzzi shovels it back to the right corner as that's on the far side. Grizz skating from left to right. They move it to Teixeira. Teixeira with the long hair and mustache throws to the left side. Grizzlies enter. As Raby gets knocked down, Gallant over there gets double teamed. Gallant along the far boards. Loses it as Kozier throws to Lelig. Lelig behind the Iowa goal line will throw it between his legs. The Heartlanders will carry it out of the zone. Looks like we're skating 5-on-5 again. Iowa throws it down the middle. And great poke check by Burke, who got a stick in the way. As Burke feeds it to center ice for Gallant, who enters. Gallant's been active this first period. As he loses it, Kevin McKernan moves it ahead. The Heartlanders still in their own zone. Less than 3 minutes left in the first period. Iowa leads 1-0. Heartlanders get to center ice, right wing. As Iowa enters, as Davis Kosh glides towards a corner. He throws it around Utah's net, left side, tough toe. Feeds it back to Kosh, who gets it along the end wall. As Kosh looked to center, it glanced off at Thomas. It goes back to the right side as Iowa over in the far corner as they skeet towards the point. Now they feed it up top, right wing, righty shot. Saved by Giannuzzi. 2:24 left in the first. It's still Iowa 1, Utah 0. So both teams doing a pretty good job on the penalty kill as both units are 0 for 1 on the power play here so far. Special teams have played a factor on Wednesday. Iowa had 2 power play goals. Utah had 1. Iowa had 1 power play goal on Friday. They also scored a shorthanded tally. Iowa was 1 for 3. Utah was 0 for 2. Cutler will take the draw against Coughlin in the far circle. As off the draw, right wing, lefty shot, saved by Giannuzzi as he holds on, as he's been active and busy, but Dante Giannuzzi so far has stopped 14 of 15. And he's looked good in practice all year, and he's getting his opportunity tonight. As looks like Iowa's doing a good job in the faceoff circle. Still can't tell who took that shot from they might have been Calverley or Derflinger. That's the other 2 forwards that are on the ice. As Utah will tap it off the near glass after winning the faceoff, we suppose, as Corey Thomas throws it to the far side. Iowa gets it back at their blue line. Heartlanders skate from right to left as they move it out to the the left wing as it goes into the Grizzlies zone, passes wide of the mark. Thomas moves it ahead. As right wing pass to center ice, Cutler enters. He gets to Fitz. Fitz throws it off the end boards. Yoon chases after it. Yoon gets held up by Campoli as 2-on-2 battle behind Iowa's net. 1:45 left in the first. As now Kozier joins 3-on-2. 3 Iowa Heartlanders over there. And Kozier eventually gets the puck. As he'll ski to neutral ice, he crosses center, right wing. Kozier carries it in. He looked to center it, but the pass goes wide as it was behind Coughlin. As Grizz get to center ice and dump it in. As Utah makes a line change, 1:22 and counting left in the first. 1-0 Heartlanders. Iowa to the far side gets to center ice. Grizzlies challenge as Utah crosses center with the puck. Now they carry it in, throw it to the far corner as Lelig gets pushed by Martell. Now another Heartlander gets it. They skeet towards the right corner, and they tap it off the near boards. Iowa clears it to center. Grizzlies throw it back in as Iowa gathers it in their own end. Less than 1 minute left in the first period. Iowa up by 1. As the Heartlanders feed it to center ice as it's near both bench areas. As Iowa enters from the right side on a diagonal pass. As Iowa gets double team. Teixeira and Raby in the area. Heartlanders behind Utah's net. They're now to the near side. As Iowa throws to the left side. Wells, lefty shot, and it's blocked out in front. Now right wing. Iowa throws it back to the near side as Heartlanders get pushed by Teixeira behind Utah's net. Taking the puck is Kosh. She feeds it to the right side. Now across to Wells. He's in the left. He fires it off the end boards intentionally. 20 seconds left in the first. Goes back towards Wells. But Martell pokes it out to center ice, and it looks like it goes out of play into the Grizzlies bench area as the whistle blows with 16 seconds left in the first. So it looks like barring something happening here in the final 16 seconds, we'll have a 1-0 game after 20 minutes. First intermission, we'll talk with Tim Broussard, and we'll also go over some scores from around the world of sports. Both BYU and Utah lost their football games. We'll see if we can get an update on how Utah State is doing in their game that's going on right now. As the draw won by Utah as Kyle Mayhew carries along the near side. Now he moves it ahead as puck bounces in the Heartlanders zone. 7 seconds left as Utah left wing. Lefty shot goes wide. Iowa gets it with 3 seconds. They outletted to center ice. Grizzlies challenge, and that will do it. 20 minutes have been played over at Xtream Arena. Davis Kosh scored on a rebound very early in the contest with the assist going to Stucker. That was 2:12 into the contest. Robbie Stucker picking up his first assist, and for Davis Kosh, he now leads the team with 11 points, 6 goals and 5 assists for Iowa. For the Grizzlies, even though Iowa took the first 10 shots of the game, Utah outshot the Heartlanders 11-6 in the final half of the first period. Both teams will head to their respective locker rooms. And when we come back in 2 minutes, we'll talk with Tim Broussard and get his thoughts on what happened in the first 20 minutes of play. And we'll also talk some hockey and give us some scores from around the world of sports. After one period, it's the Heartlanders 1 and the Grizzlies 0. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
First intermission over at Xtream Arena. Iowa leads Utah 1-0. I guess we named this place the Grizz Cave here near the team store, as I'm joined by Tim Broussard. Let's get to the stats before we talk with Tim. There only one goal in the first period. Davis Kosh got his 6th of the year. Robbie Stucker with the assist. It's kind of interesting. About, I'd say, 20 or 30 seconds before that Kosh goal, there was a similar shot from the right side that was about shoulder high that Giannuzzi made the save on and gathered it and held on. And then, that shot by Stucker just bounced off his shoulder and went back towards the right side, and just inside the circle, Kosh got it and put it away as he went low on Giannuzzi to give Iowa a 1-0 lead. And you talk about public enemy number one. Some people would probably say it's Peyton Jones on Wednesday and Friday, but Davis Kosh have a series. Scored a power play goal in the second period on Wednesday. Last night, he was the number one star. He had 2 goals and 1 assist, and he's got Iowa's lone goal here tonight and the lone goal in the game. And that was a 5-on-5 goal. Both teams had 1 power play in the first period. Jordan Martell got 2 minutes for hooking, 7:58 in, and I was, what was the word, perplexed. I wasn't quite sure that he did enough to earn the hook, but he goes to the box there, and Grizzlies were successful on the penalty kill. And then Justin Wells for Iowa picked up a penalty, a slashing call, 14:45 in, and Iowa held strong on their penalty kill. So both teams 0 for 1 on the penalty kill. Iowa outshot Utah 16-11, but remember the edge was 10-0 Iowa at one point in the first period. In terms of Utah's 11 shots, 2 for Messner and Fitz, and then 7 other Grizzlies with 1 shot. They've only got Cole Gallant down for 1 shot, even though it felt like he took at least 3 or 4 in that first period. He was one of Utah's most active forwards. For Iowa, 4 shots for Adam Goodsir. He must wear one of those jerseys. I really can't tell because I don't think I mentioned Goodsir's name once. Those jerseys are pretty tough. It's a dark number with the dark jersey. So Goodsir had 4 shots in the first period. McKernan with 3. Davis Kosh had 2. So did Chris Leip, and then a few other Heartlanders with 1 shot in the first period. Goaltending matchup's been interesting. Drew DeRitter in his second pro game and first this year stopped all 11 he has seen. And Dante Giannuzzi in his pro debut for Utah has stopped 15 of 16 as he settled in and played a pretty good first period, albeit a pretty busy one, as we're hanging out with Tim Broussard in the Grizz Cave tonight. Tim, it's one of those things, first 7 or 8 minutes, it kind of looked a little bit like the first period last night. Good thing is the Grizzlies were able to recover. I think that killing off the penalty gave the Grizzlies a little bit of momentum, and it seemed like the last half of that first period was pretty evenly played.
Yeah, on my notes, my cause for concern was at the 12 or what do we got? The 12 something mark that we had, I'm sorry, at 10:56 marks, we had 2 shots. They had 13, and one of our shots came from 150 feet away.
Right. They counted as a shot.
They counted as a shot,
almost 200 feet.
Yeah, so that's a significant cause for concern. And what was causing that? Well, we had 0 transition, 0 breakout, and our decisions on passing needed improvements. We had to have some purposeful passing and success with passing. And honestly, they were jumping our lanes and having success doing that. So. Like I said earlier, it was Gallant shot was the first time that I saw a system game the line and then throw it out to the wing. And lo and behold, because everybody collapsed early, now we had time and space and was able to get a successful shot off.
That's a pretty tough thing to do, especially if you get a team like Iowa who's not just going to let you get into the offensive zone on a free toll. It seems like they're forcing the Grizzlies to really work to get in and almost forcing it to either the left point or the right point. And just Utah a lot of times really has no choice but to dump it in the corner and chase after it. It seems like the Grizzlies, as the first period evolved, it seemed like they were getting more creative in how they're entering the zone.
Right, and they've had to, because, out of the 3 zones of hockey, your offensive, your neutral, and your defensive zone, they're challenging on their forecheck. We can't even get out of our own zone without being contested. Then we got to make it through the neutral zone. Then we got to gain the blue line. They're challenging us high at the blue line. So trying to get a east-west pass immediately after gaining wasn't there early. That's where I think we were getting a little bit predictable. And I felt like, on my other notes here, that we were chasing the puck. So, once we would gain it or once they would get it and we, expect, okay, maybe we'll get a turnover and go into transition. Well, that wasn't happening because we were late to need. So but the good news is I think at about the 7-minute mark, from that point on, I think there was a change in the momentum, and that's where we started finding a few lanes and getting a little bit more work for DeRitter. And hopefully that will continue. Hopefully we found something, because the first 10:56 we had absolutely nothing.
Seems like the guys that have got the speed on the Grizzlies club and the guys you'd probably count as the fastest of all the Grizzlies seem to have had the most success in the first period. Ray B. Martel looks like he's about as fast as I've looked all season. And really Cole Gallant, it seemed like that second half of the first period, it seemed like he was always on the screen doing something.
I think this is the most we've called Gallant name in any one particular period, and that's good because that's, we need him to step up in there.
Especially since we can't see anything away from the puck ever.
It's really tough. For those that don't know, Tyson gets about that much of a screen to call it on. Otherwise, the software has a few issues that cause skipping and lagging. So it's being on this side, watching him do his thing. That's a humbling experience. So good luck to you, buddy. But as far as the game is going, I'm expecting to see that the adjustments that Kanasowicz is going to make is probably utilizing the speed that you mentioned. See if we can't get something, but we're probably going to have to do it through the middle because, like we talked last night, Iowa has everything sealed off on the boards. So you're going to have to find something cutting down right through the middle, and that might be your speed and skilled guys doing the work.
You might just have to kind of force your way in there. It's going to be a battle, and you're going to have to kind of win that real estate, but you're just going to have to force your way in there.
Yeah, you might have to jump in on the play, and and I saw that happening even with Texera, having your defensive man come in late at the 4-minute mark, and kind of that once again the risk and the reward, but you've got to generate something. So let's go ahead and send in a D with the puck, and Texera very skilled for a defenseman and very comfortable handling the puck, bringing it in, but trying to break that accountable man from Iowa, where you're expecting, okay, I've got my 3 forwards accounted for, I've got my centerman back, and here comes a defenseman unaccounted for bringing in the puck, and now you can set up your wingers behind you, and now you can get into your system of your offense versus hanging back and letting Iowa challenge physically and along the boards where they've had success in jumping our passing lanes.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens here in the second period. 2 other games involving Mountain Division opponents. First intermission, Rapid City leads Wichita 2-1. Looks like Wichita's got Beck Warm in net. He has stopped 9 of 11. Murphy is in net for Rapid City. He has stopped 7 of 11. Looks like Brett Gravel and Logan Nelson have Rapid City's goals. Xavier Poliot, unassisted, has Wichita's goal, as Rapid City has 1 power play goal. Wichita yet to go on the power play. First intermission over at Intrust Bank Arena in Wichita. Rapid City leads Wichita 2-1. And later on tonight, starting in about 20 minutes from now, over at Idaho Central Arena, the 3-9 Allen Americans, who are in last place in the Mountain Division, they take on Idaho, who are 10-2, but believe it or not, they're not in first place. Kansas City and their 11-2 start are in first place. Kansas City is off tonight. There must be an event or something at BOK Center in Tulsa, but Kansas City and Tulsa will meet tomorrow afternoon for 3 o'clock Mountain Time Zone showdown. It's kind of interesting to see Kansas City off to a great start, and we'll see if that continues throughout the season, as looks like Kansas City and Idaho both right up there. And I'm curious, we haven't seen Kansas City yet, and we probably won't hear for a few weeks, but Mavericks are off to an outstanding start at 11-2.
Tato has his kind of guys, as per his campaign 2 years ago.
Yep.
That was what they ran, and it honestly, I'm happy to see success. I'm happy to see that level of parity and give somebody, i.e. Idaho, a run for their money and keep them honest. Will they pull another Houdini act and struggle to make playoffs? I don't know, but for right now, they got the hot hand and they're dealing.
Grizzlies will play Kansas City 9 times in the regular year. 2 games set over in Kansas City, January 19th and 20th. And then they also face Kansas City once on the road on January 30th. Grizzlies go back to Kansas City for a 3-game set, February 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The only time Kansas City will be at Maverick Center will be the final 3 home games of the year. Fan Appreciation Weekend at Maverick Center is when Kansas City will be here April 3rd, 5th, and 6th. Face off all 3 nights at 7:10. Mark your calendar down. That's going to be some big games for the Grizzlies late in the regular year. Don't forget the Grizzlies will be home for a 3-game set against the Newfoundland Growlers next week, next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Next Wednesday is going to be a Bud Light College night with $10 student tickets, and I hear there's going to be some live music. That's going to be at Maverick Center as well. Friday night, Grizzlies will have specialty jerseys for warm-ups. I saw a couple people on social media ripping the Grizzlies for not wearing those during the games. Look, Newfoundland didn't want to bring anything but their black jerseys. That's why the Grizzlies can't wear them during games. Otherwise, we'd have 2 teams in black jerseys. So it's the Grizzlies absolutely wanted to wear their Black Friday jerseys for the game. Newfoundland refused to bring anything but their black, or I don't know if they refused to, but that's just the story behind that. And I saw a couple people ripping the Grizzlies for wearing them just for warm-ups, and I wouldn't normally go to bat and say, hey, that's wrong, but it was wrong, and I just want to throw it out there that the Grizzlies would love to wear those Black Friday jerseys for the game, but other circumstances say that they can't.
Yeah, maybe we'll put them in our white practice jerseys.
That's right. Put Newfoundland in white jerseys, put a number on there so we can wear black jerseys on Friday. That's just the way it goes.
Hey, problem solved, man. We got it.
That's right. First intermission, Iowa leads 1-0. We'll come back, give you some college football top 25 scores and some local scores. We'll have second period action over at Xtream Arena as we're hanging out in the Grizz Cave tonight. Iowa leads 1-0 as Davis Kosh scored 2:12 into the contest. We'll see if the Grizzlies can get the equalizer. And don't forget, you can still make your case for the opt-in first goal of the game. Who's going to score first for Utah here this evening? Based on what I saw in the first period, I think Cole Gallant might end up being my pick. Before I had Kyle Mayhew. Mayhew's certainly a good option, but I got Cole Gallant scoring first for Utah in the second period. We'll come back in 2 minutes and have second period action as Iowa leads Utah 1-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. We're back after this word from America First Credit Union.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Now we're about set for second period action over at Xtream Arena. Everybody in Iowa City is pretty happy. I think Coralville, if I remember right, it's like a suburb of Iowa City. I would know if I were there, of course, but Iowa got a 15-13 victory over Illinois as Iowa's record goes to 9-2. It's not like Iowa plays the most aesthetically pleasing brand of football, but you know what? Defense, running game, special teams, it's a winning formula, and it's worked for Iowa for many years. They're 9-2 this season. I think they go to the Big Ten championship game where they will face either Michigan or Ohio State. Where the local college football teams are having a tough go of it. Weber State does have a lead, though. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. They lead Cal Poly 17-14. That game halfway through the second. Looks like Utah State is down 31-10 to Boise State. Both teams are 5-5 on the year. That game's going to halftime, and Boise State leads Utah State 31-10. Earlier today, BYU really did a good job giving Oklahoma a run for their money, but it's Oklahoma that came away with a 31-24 victory. As Oklahoma, I think it's their 10th win of the season, BYU falls to 5-6. So BYU will need a victory at Oklahoma State if they want to go to a bowl game. That becomes a must-win game for BYU. And Utah really fell hard to the Arizona Wildcats. Final score there, Arizona 42, Utah 18. As Utes fall to 7-4 this year. Arizona, outstanding year for Jed Fish's company, Jed Fish's crew. They're now 8-3 on the season. Well, both teams are now on the ice. We'll have second period action here shortly. As Iowa in their black jerseys, it's a different jersey. They got like a pink rose right there in the front. The numbers are a little bit on the darker side on the dark jersey, with just a kind of I believe, a white or a silver outline. As there's Nick Campoli skating to the bench. The Grizzlies look like they're going to start the second period with the same five that started the game. And that's Nathan Burke, Brandon Cutler, and Dylan Fitz, with a defensive pairing of Kyle Mayhew and Josh Wesley. Iowa started out with Ben Brinkman and Kevin McKernan, the forwards, Jake Derflinger, Will Calverley, and Liam Coughlin. Before we start the second period, let's get Tim Broussard's thoughts. Tim, what do the Grizzlies need to do, particularly early in the second period, to make sure they tie it up? Because it feels like the next goal in this game is going to be critical.
Establish some time of possession with the puck, even if it means drawing back in your own zone and setting it up, and have purposeful passing rather than, chip it up and hope. And I think that's going to do better than dump and chase, where Iowa's owning the boards and we're having to fight them for the puck, and we're not having much success doing that.
See if the Grizzlies can utilize their speed here in the second period with guys like Gallant, Raby, and Martell and company. And we'll see if Brandon Cutler gets going. It feels like he's due for a big goal here.
Yeah, I'm still staying with him for for our first goal. I just haven't seen him get loose, or haven't seen him get many good looks, but I think he's due.
I'm going to flip-flop, though. I think Cole Gallant's going to score first for Utah here in the second period. As 20 minutes are on the score bug clock, as we see it on Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Bear with us, though, as sometimes we're not unable to get the full picture, as a draw is won by Iowa. And the Grizz dump it in and chase after it. Dylan Fitz over in the right corner, throws it around Iowa's net. Utah near goal line gets pushed. Brandon Cutler skates around the net. He's on the right side. Cutler dances around, trying to break free of Coughlin. As Cutler goes down, now battles with Coughlin on the far side. As now kicked over towards Ben Brinkman, who feeds it across to McKernan, who's on the near side. As McKernan shovels it out to center ice. Gloved by Iowa. They try to skate in. Good job by Utah protecting their blue line as Kyle Mayhew gets it. He'll throw it across to the captain, Josh Wesley, who wraps it around the wall. As left side goes to Stapley, who skates the left wing. Shot is blocked by McKernan as Iowa behind their net gets it. Messner with a push as Utah has made their first line change of the second period. As Yoon in the offensive zone over to Messner near side. As Stapley around Iowa's net. It gets chipped back to the near corner that everybody vacated. As Gallant back towards Stapley, and Messner, who's over to the left side, drops it off for Thomas. Thomas fires it off the end wall. Grizz still on the near side. Gallant left wing. Righty shot goes wide as he tried to go stick side on DeRitter. Now far side. Puck slides towards DeRitter, who covers up in the crease. Stapley battling in front of the net with an Iowa player sporting a mustache. As DeRitter is able to cover up as the puck to the right side. Grizzlies skated to the corner and fired a shot. And couldn't quite tell who that was, but pretty good look there on a sharp angle that DeRitter was able to make the save on. So Utah took the first shot of the second period over on the right side. As Yakura will take the draw. He's got Raby and Martell out there. Utah wins the faceoff in the offensive zone. Raby, right side. He skates towards his left, and he'll feed it off the near wing boards. As Yakura in the corner gets pushed down, no call. Iowa comes up with the puck. As the Heartlanders get to center ice. Grizz back defensively. Right wing pass. Iowa rolls it along the wall. As it goes to the far side, Yakura skates over. He gets the puck. As he moves it ahead along the far wing. As Martell chases after it, he gets around to Heartlander. Now the puck deep in the Iowa zone as Martell skates and throws it to the left circle for Yakura, who will move over to the left point, dropping off for Martell. Martell skates in the slot. Righty shot, and it goes high. Power was in front of the net as Martell just missed it. As far goal line, now to Martell, who skates around Iowa's net. Martell backhands it out in front to Yakura, who hacks away, but DeRitter covers up in the crease. There's a close call there. Martell Well, he had a really good look out in front. There was about 2 or 3 bodies and somehow just missed wide. As I think they're going to show a replay on that. Actually, they're just going to show the backhand shot pass towards Yakura. It was hacking away. It was a great pass by Martel, but Yakura was just pushing the back and got a little bit too close to DeRitter. As the draw is going to be in the Iowa zone, left circle. As there's less than 18 minutes left in the second period, Grizzlies win the draw. Righty shot towards the net is blocked. As the puck lifts in the air, dropped. Grizzlies get it. As it goes back towards Wesley. Fitz, now Gallant, he's in the left point. He gets double teamed, and the puck exits the zone as Iowa skates in. They dump it in from neutral ice. Jacob Semick out there along with Teixeira over to the near side. Iowa keeps it in. Right wing, righty shot, and a score. On a tough angle, Landon Kozier fired towards the net. Kosh was trying to redirect it. I think Davis Kosh redirected it for his second of the game. Well, you talk about a guy that's just been brutally tough on Utah. Davis Kosh looks like he redirected the Landon Kozier shot as Peyton Jones tips his cap from the Iowa bench. Kozier was in the right side. Kosh was in front of the net, and Davis Kosh on an almost impossible angles. He redirected it and scored. Great redirection by Davis Kosh. He was nowhere near the net. He was more towards the near circle than he was the net, and somehow was able to find the right angle to get it past Dante Giannuzzi. So Kosh gets his second of the game and 7th of the season. As we're back to live action, Davis Kosh 2, Utah nothing. As Grizz dump it in from neutral ice, and they dumped it in from Grizzlies territory, says the linesman. So Utah's called for icing with 17-14 left in the second. I think a lot of the fans in attendance were doing what Peyton Jones did, and he just tipped his cap that he's wearing on the bench, the dad hat, just tipped it towards Davis Kosh, because that's about as good a redirection as you'll ever see, as Kosh was battling with Keone Teixeira. And unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, it just feels like all the breaks so far going Iowa's way. Campoli will take the draw against Brandon Cutler, as Utah is just going to have to be in a position where they're going to have to continue to battle, as they haven't scored a goal since 12 minutes and 34 seconds into the second period on Wednesday. As Utah wins the draw, Nathan Burke near side, shovels it out to center ice. It goes into the Heartlanders zone. It bounced off a defenseman. Somebody else for Iowa picks it up, as Iowa's done a good job defensively here in this series. Heartlanders back it out to center ice. Grizzlies back defensively. Utah gets it back at center ice, but Iowa gets there first and dumps it in as Mayhew across off the far boards to Wesley. Wesley to Burke at center ice down the middle. Burke loses the puck as Iowa back checked him. Now Cutler danced around neutral ice, and he'll dump it in from the left wing as the puck skips in the left corner as Iowa spins it from one side to the other. Heartlanders now on the far side with the puck skating from left to right. They throw it to center ice. Messner picks it off. Thomas, right wing pass, doesn't connect as the puck ricochets off the far wing boards and glides towards the Iowa goal line. Icing on Utah with 16:29 left in the second. Tim, looking at that redirection Kosh had there, I mean, I don't even know the angle there, but that was quite the shot.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to him, and that's exactly what Peyton Jones did. That way, that shot was going so far wide, hits it off the heel of the stick, and then nothing Giannuzzi could do.
Or Teixeira, who was near Kosh. As 3.5 minutes into the second period, Grizzlies win the faceoff. They cross center ice. As Messner, left wing, lefty shot, gets redirected, and DeRitter somehow made the save. Or I think Utah was trying to redirect it, and it must have just flown all the way towards DeRitter. As they show the replay, Stapley over to Messner. Is it still 2-0? That was just a simple shot. Stapley was cutting towards the net, but Messner fired it into the left glove of Drew DeRitter. As DeRitter, like a lot of goaltenders, catches with his left arm, and his stick side is on his right. As Grizz with an offensive zone draw, Brett Stapley has been impressive in a Grizzlies uniform. Thought about taking the face off. He gets kicked out of the circle as the linesman did a pump fake on him. Cole Gallant will take it against Tufto. And now the linesman talks to both guys, both Tufto and Gallant. As the linesman drops the puck, Iowa wins the face-off. Boy, it'd be nice to know the face-off percentages. Grizzlies score! Grizzlies skate towards the right side behind the net, chip it out in front as Mick Messner's in the area as Utah gets on the board. $16-14 left in the second. Off the draw, Grizzlies skated around the net as Gallant face-off went off the end boards. Mick Messner wraparound, got it through. Saved that puck, Jackson Hibbard, as Mick Messner gets his first as a pro, with Cole Gallant getting the assist. He's also the Optum first goal of the game scorer as Mick Messner gets his first of the year and first as a pro. Cole Gallant should get an assist as Utah gets on the board with 16-14 left in the second. So the Grizz climb back into this one. Draws at center ice, Dean Yakura against Nick Campoli. And how about that moment for Mick Messner, who was on the brink of scoring some goals there last week against Wichita. He gets Utah on the board. Iowa dumps it in after winning the faceoff. Grizz throw it back to center ice, and he goes all the way along the far wing boards deep in the Iowa zone. Landon Kozier gets there before Raby. Raby tried to redirect it in the far corner as Iowa throws to the near side. They lift it high into the air. It bounces in Grizzlies territory. Teixeira gathers it. Far side Grizzlies zone moves it ahead. Iowa takes it away. Right side, righty shot and a score. As Jesse Jocks gets his 5th of the year as he scored from the right side. And it's now a 3-1 game. Boy, the momentum is changing quickly in this one as Iowa's retaking the 2-goal lead. Iowa with the transition game. They're in the left circle, fed it across to a cutting Jocks, Jacqueus. And Jocks put it away for his 5th of the year. As the pass was in the far circle, just fed it across, and Jocks was all alone. So it's 3-1 Heartlanders. Teixeira was trying to clear the zone, and Iowa quickly picked it off. And just like that, Iowa regains the momentum. 15:45 left in the second, left to go through quickly in the ECHL app to figure it out because a lot of goals have been scored in a short amount of time. Messner with his first as a pro, and then quickly, Jacks gets his 5th of the year. As Utah deep in their own end, as it feeded out to center ice looking for Fitz. Iowa regathers it. As we're 4.5 minutes into the second period, Iowa leads 3-1. As it was a 1-0 game going into the second period. Grizzlies dump it in as Iowa behind the net. Utah gets pushed down, does Nathan Burke, as it goes back to Ben Brinkman, who moves it ahead. Iowa feeds out to center ice. It bounced off one of the linesmen. Grizzlies lift it in the air as it bounces in the high slot of the Iowa zone. Hawkeyes get there before Fitz, or make that Heartlanders. As Iowa left wing crosses center ice, they dump it in. Giannuzzi behind his net in his pro debut. Feeds to the far side as Grizz chip it to center ice. It goes past Nathan Burke and ricochets off the near boards. And it looks like icing is on Utah as we get a whistle with 14:54 left in the second. So it was 1-0 Iowa after one period. Kosh got a second of the game, redirecting the Kozier shot, 2:29 in. And then Mick Messner scored 3:46, and right now it's listed as unassisted. They probably could add one to Cole Gallant. And then looks like 40 seconds after Messner got his first as a pro, Jesse Jocks got his 5th of the year, 4:26 in with Campoli getting the assist. That's where we stand now. 2 goals for Iowa, 1 for the Grizzlies here in the second period. As draw's going to be the near side, Cutler takes it against Tufto. As Iowa wins the draw, right wing shot saved by Giannuzzi. Grizzlies get the rebound. As they skate from right to left, Utah crosses center and dumps it in. Utah makes a line change to get some new skaters out there. Burke trips up Iowa, and Tufto, left wing, is the call made. We can't see the referee. Looks like a Grizzly player got hit with a high stick as Fitz holds his face. As Iowa gets it, delayed penalty, Fitz is going to get nothing. Stapley pushes a Heartlander in the back. And now puck is Iowa. Delayed penalty. Boy, Fitz looked like he was holding his face as he was hit with a high stick, but it looked like that call might not have been made. As Iowa crosses center ice, they chip it over the right side as Iowa enters. Heartlanders throw it back to the right corner. I think they scored a delayed penalty goal on Wednesday. As Iowa feeds it back up top. Now they get towards the right circle as Iowa spreads the ice. 6-on-5 delayed penalty as they throw it behind Utah's net. Heartlanders now to the far side. Now they get to the left point as they feed it back to the right side. Pass goes between the legs. Heartlanders get it up top. Lelig feeds it across. Now it goes to the corner. Now back up top to the left point. Across to the right side for Lelig. They throw it to the high slot. Iowa righty shot is blocked. Puck continues to play as we haven't had a whistle yet on the delayed penalty. As Iowa throws it towards the end boards, Grizzlies touch up. Does Brian Yu. And Nathan Burke's probably going to get called for tripping over there behind Iowa's net. And then it looked like about 5 seconds later, Fitz thought that, Fitz was grabbing his face as if he were hit with a high stick on with Tufto in the area. And they didn't call the high stick, it looks like. 13:33 is left in the second. As looks like the Grizz are going to be shorthanded. It's Iowa 3, Utah 1, as Nathan Burke skates towards the penalty box. Grizzlies hockey all season long brought to you by Coca-Cola, where real magic is only a sip away, and by Mountain Land Supply Company. When we come back in 30 seconds, Iowa will be on the power play. Heartlanders 3, Grizzlies 1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Iowa 3, Utah 1. Iowa's on the power play. Burke, I believe, gets 2 minutes for tripping. This is a critical penalty kill for the Grizzlies, as it's a 2-goal game, and obviously don't want to go down 3 on the road to Iowa.
You know, our penalty kill did reasonably well, definitely above average against Wichita, absolutely lethal on their power play. So hopefully we can contain the offensive movement that they're going to have, especially the east to west low, that crossing pass down low that we're susceptible to. Anybody's susceptible to, if they can do that with a man up, and they can find that open winger just teeing it up on the side. I'm hoping that we can put enough pressure on them and challenge the passing lanes, and still yet be able to, collapse down low and help out Giannuzzi if he has an issue with the rebound.
3-1 Iowa, 13 minutes, 33 seconds left in the second period. Congratulations, Mick Messner. First professional goal on a wraparound right off a faceoff that was won by Cole Glomp. As the puck ended up towards the end boards, then Messner chased after it, skated around the net, and then just kind of snuck it through. And obviously Jackson Hibbard, the Grizzlies equipment manager, hopefully he's got the puck right now as Messner gets his first as a pro. Let's see. There's a bit of a delay here, as the two linesmen are talking with Iowa's coach, Derek Damon. As looks like the 1-minute media timeout's taking a little bit more than 1 minute here. Well, there was that high sticking call there that looked like, Fitz probably could have gotten, but it looks like it wasn't called. And not sure what they're talking about. 13:33 left in the second. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. As, let's see, there's only 2 guys down low for Iowa. We'll count the bodies. Looks like we're skating 4-on-4, as there's only 4 YC for Iowa. So they might have actually called that high stick, as Utah throws to the far side as they carry it across center ice. As Brandon Cutler gets it poked away as he was entering the zone. Puck glides towards DeRitter, who moves it ahead. As Iowa feeds out to center ice, Grizz chase after it over towards Giannuzzi. They wave off the icing. So, yeah, I think they did get a penalty for Iowa on that high stick, I believe. So we're skating 4-on-4. Iowa back in neutral ice. They cross center. Iowa skating from left to right. Grizz from right to left. As McKernan skates in, drops it off left point. As Iowa skates towards their right. Righty shot goes wide as it ricochets off the end wall. As Iowa skates towards the middle. Great poke check by Cutler. Iowa keeps it in as McKernan lifts it towards Giannuzzi, who gathers it. It was kind of a rainbow shot from the high slot that was just gathered in the crease by Giannuzzi. Kind of an awkward-looking shot, as looked like a little bit of that alley-oop. Iowa just scooped it towards Giannuzzi. Scoop, there it is, and Teixeira was there boxing out Iowa, and Giannuzzi was able to make the routine save on what was not necessarily a routine shot. 12:43 left in the second. We'll see. If they'll update to see where the penalties are. It looks like Burke got a penalty in Tufto. They did call the high stick that was there on the face of Fitz. Both guys get 2-minute penalties. Grizzlies skate in 4-on-4 as Mayhew right side, as he'll drop it off. Grizz skate towards the far goal line, now towards their left backhand shot, saved by DeRitter. That was taken by Josh Wesley. Stapley over to Wesley, right side, drops it off for Mayhew. Mayhew over towards his left wing pass to Martell. Martell skates towards his right. He's in the high slot. Now he reverses back to his left. Now he spins back to the right. Martell fires a low liner, saved by DeRitter. As Martell is probably hoping that Wesley would skate over and get it and then fire a backhand shot, as Martell was just dancing around, going from one side to the other there for about 10 seconds, found an angle to the right side. It looked like it was more of a pass attempt than anything else that glided towards DeRitter with 12:06 left in the second. Draw is going to be in the far circle of the Iowa zone. The fans in Iowa still celebrating the Hawkeyes' victory over Illinois in Big Ten football. As Grizzlies right circle, righty shot goes wide Puck glides towards the left point. Gallant keeps it in. Over towards Fitz, who drew that high sticking penalty. Mayhew, left side, dances around. Now he reverses back towards the point. Mayhew, left side, as he still has the puck. Mayhew dancing around. He reverses to his right. Now back to Wesley, who's now on the left side. Over to Fitz. As Fitz now back to the left point, throws to the right side for Wesley. Grizzlies very patient with their approach here. Wesley off the far boards for Fitz. Fitz on the right side as he's at the point, backhands it towards the net, and DeRitter makes the save as the Grizzlies just kind of are running around in circles. They're almost looking like they're trying to keep Iowa on their toes and keep Iowa moving as well. Good passing by the Grizzlies. It seems like Utah had Fitz there, and it looked like he was hoping to get somebody cutting towards the net, but it looked like it bounced off of Cutler on the right point and then bounced towards DeRitter, who was able to cover up. Yakura will take the draw late in the 4-on-4. We're not sure exactly how much time. The penalties were 6:27 in, and I'm not a math major. I think we're late in the 4-on-4s. We're maybe close to skating 5-on-5. We're back to 5-on-5 skating. Neutral ice. Yoon dumps it in as puck glides along the boards towards the near side as Iowa feeds it back to the far side as we're about 9 minutes into the second period. 3-1 Iowa. As the Heartlanders have scored 2 goals in the second period with Messner's first as a pro mixed in there. As Iowa dumps it all the way deep in the Grizzlies zone. Thomas gets to Yoon. Yoon, the Colorado College captain last year. 3 assists in his last 5 games. He looks up and he starts the attack. As Yoon throws to the right side, Grizz, cross center ice. Yakura skates down the middle, drops it off for Martel. Right wing, righty shot, stick saved by DeRitter. As Yakura gets pushed, Martel right corner. So he's played a good game. Martel around the net, gets a stick lifted, no call. Puck goes back over to the right side. Grizz, Teixeira over towards Raby. Raby skates back towards the point, reverses his field. Now he's towards the slot. Lefty shot is poked away. As right point, Teixeira keeps it in. He rolls it along the wall. Left corner as Martel gets pushed. The Rooster keeps his feet, throws to Raby behind Iowa's net. Raby towards the restrictive line, throws to Stapley. Stapley left side, skates towards his right up top, high slot. Now he does a circle towards the right circle. He taps it off the boards, gets it back. Stapley behind Iowa's net, right side. I try to feed it towards Gallant, does, shot, and it deflects off of Davis Kosh's stick. What more can he do tonight? Kosh scored Iowa's first 2 goals of the evening. As Iowa gets it out to center ice, they cross center and dump it in. As both teams make a line change, we're halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes. 2 goals by Davis Kosh. Jesse Jocks has found the back of the net. Messner is first as a pro for Utah. As Gallant enters the zone, left side, trying to feather it across and fanned on it. Kozier will move it to center ice. Grizzlies back defensively. 3-on-3. Iowa dumps it in. Puck glides towards the right point. Iowa keeps in the attack zone. Grizzlies kick it back to center. As looks like play is stopped as action near the Utah blue line. Puck either went out of play or Iowa was called for offside. 9:18 left in the second, and if you joined us late, Davis Kosh scored his 6th of the year and first of 2 in the game, 2:12 into the first period. Iowa led 1-0 after 1. Kosh redirected a Landon Kozier shot, 2:29 into the second. That gave Iowa a 2-0 lead. Mick Messner got his first as a pro on a wraparound shot as he was skating towards the far side and snuck it past Drew DeRitter. It's his first as a pro. Right now it's listed as unassisted. 40 seconds after Messner cut into the Iowa lead, it was Jesse Jocks who got his 5th of the year as he scored from the right side. Campoli was on the left, got it across to Jocks, who was able to put it away, and that made it a 3-1 game, and that's where we stand now. We had 2 minutes of 4-on-4 action. Grizzlies had the puck for the majority of the 2 minutes, but just couldn't find a way to get that goal as it's 3-1 Iowa. Tim, crazy second period. What have you seen?
Boy, a lot of momentum shifts back and forth. The one thing I am encouraged by is, I guess you call them running plays. You know, just some plays to eat some clock, and where we've got the puck and we can decide what we're going to do. Granted, the pressure is still coming from Iowa, and we're having a little bit more success, and I think that's just due to better decisions, not necessarily a concerted better effort or a different system. I still think we're working well within the constraints of that Kanasowicz system. And I have seen a lot more play going down the middle versus trying to fight them up the sides of the boards.
It was great to see Mick Messner get that first pro goal. He's played good hockey as of late.
Yeah, great. How quick was he to make that turn? And DeRidder had no chance. It was just the speed of even DeRidder being, acknowledging the fact of, okay, the puck's moving around, and no chance for him.
Messner, one of the quickest of all the Grizzlies skaters. We'll talk with Tim a little bit later on as we're back to live action. Action deep in the Grizzlies zone. Burke throws it across to Josh Wesley, who lifts it high into the air. It bounces at center ice. Cutler chases after it left side. He gets pushed into the corner aggressively as Burke gets pushed by Derflinger. Coughlin over there surveying as it goes over to the left point for Mayhew. Across to Wesley. Right wing, righty shot, and it's blocked off of Fitz's wrist. Fitz shakes his wrist back and forth as Iowa crosses center ice. They try to drop it off of the Utah blue line. Wesley picks it off. He ices the puck, and the arm is raised by the linesman. 8:31 left in the second as Draw's going to come back towards Dante Giannuzzi in his pro debut. He hasn't seen as much action here in the second period. 16 shots for Iowa in the first, and it looks like 7 so far here in the second. Giannuzzi, it's certainly intriguing to watch him in practice every day. He's got great quickness, and, he's only 21 years old, just turned 21 on September 3rd. Hometown Winnipeg, Manitoba, and it looks like he's going to be a good one. Tufto crouches down to take the face-off for Iowa against Brandon Cutler. 8:31 left in the second, and Cutler, as the right arm is raised by the linesman, will drop the puck. And Iowa wins the draw. They throw it over to the left point. We're skating 5-on-5. Iowa with a shot that's blocked. They keep the puck on the left side. Now they fire a lefty shot, saved by Giannuzzi. He holds on. Good job by Brandon Cutler and Josh Wesley out in front of the net, making sure Iowa doesn't get a second chance. But Giannuzzi gloves it cleanly. And after allowing some rebounds there in the first 10 minutes, he's done a good job not letting Iowa get those second chances. So the Heartlanders are up to 8 shots here so far in the second period. The Grizzlies have taken 9 here in the second period after 11 in the first. Dania Chris seen a lot of ice time. He'll take the draw against Davis Kosh. Kosh with 2 goals already. He's on hat trick watch as Iowa wins the draw. They throw it off the end boards as Utah pushes. Grizzlies get the puck as Raby along the near side gets to center ice. Raby chips it in. It's gloved by Iowa as they're in their own zone. Iowa from left to right. They feed it across. Now the Heartlanders outlet pass as goes in as Tufto left side enters the zone. He gets pushed by Yoon as Tufto gets it back left point. Now up top for Stucker. He'll fire a righty shot off the end boards intentionally. Iowa gets it. They skeet towards the near point. And now they throw it back to the vacated end wall. Iowa feeds it back up top. Left point. Lefty shot goes wide. Yoon fell down. He's back to his feet. Iowa looking for the wraparound. Yoon cuts it off. Great defensive play. Grizz cross center ice. Utah dumps it in at the end of their shift. Raby chases after DeRidder, who feeds along the near wing boards. Iowa moves it ahead to center ice as the Heartlanders enter. As Kosh skeets towards the right side and feeds it across the left as it rolls along the far boards. Now left point, Iowa gets it. Hunter Lelig, righty shot goes wide as it ricochets off the glass as Kozier tosses off the end boards, far goal line. Iowa trying to kick it in front towards Kozier. And Teixeira gets it back to the far circle. Grizzlies doing a good job now letting that centering pass get through out down the middle. As Lelig drops it off for Kozier. Left wing pass towards the circle. As they feed it up top for Lelig. Over to the right side. One-timer saved by Giannuzzi. As that shot was taken from the right side near the goal line. As Grizz won a battle behind Utah's net. Stapley loses it as he gets back checked and falls down. Left wing, lefty shot saved by Giannuzzi. As Iowa skates around the net. I think that's Jax, or make that Campoli. He skates towards the left point, feeds to the right corner. As Iowa, Jax, who scored Iowa's 3rd goal, gets to the high slot. Righty shot, and it's blocked out in front. About 3 bodies for the Grizzlies out in front of Giannuzzi. Near side, Raby gets it. He'll carry it out of the zone. Left wing with speed. Raby dumps it in. He gets dragged down, or he gets knocked down. Raby hoping for a call. None to be had, though, as he'll skate to the bench. As Iowa throws a blue line to blue line pass. It goes deep in the Grizzlies zone, and looks like Giannuzzi covers up. 6:06 left in the second, as maybe the puck deflected out. Actually, the puck was still in play. Not sure where it ended up. Giannuzzi might have just covered up as they fired towards the net. 6:06 left in the second. 3-1 Iowa, as the faceoff's going to come back all the way into the Heartlanders zone. It might have been icing, as Utah will get an offensive zone draw. Iowa, 28 shots to the Grizzlies, 20. As Cole Gallant out there with Tyler Penner. Penner sporting the mustache will take the face-off. wearing number 21. It's his 154th consecutive regular season game, as Campoli will take the draw for Iowa. Campoli had the main assist on Jax's goal, which was Iowa's third of the game. Iowa wins the draw. They cross center ice far side and dump it in. Giannuzzi lets it go to the near corners. Derflinger battles with Mayhew. Mayhew gets the puck. Derflinger will retreat defensively. Outlet pass from Mayhew to center ice, looking for Gallant. Bounced off of him. Now Gallant gets it back left point as the Grizzlies enter. He'll dump it in. Messner with a big hit along the end boards. As Utah skates towards the point, Fitz over to Mayhew, left side, skates towards the corner. Mayhew looks to feather it out in front. It bounced off of Grizz, who was looking for a redirection. That was Messner looking for a second goal of the game as Iowa throws it from one blue line to the other. Grizzlies feed it to the right side and dump it in as there's 5:21 and counting left in the second. Burke will tap it off an Iowa skate as Coughlin battles with Martell, I believe. Fitz skates over there as Coughlin engulfs a Grizzly as Fitz backhands it to the right point. Now across to Thomas. Thomas, the Vermont product, gets it poked away to center ice. Thomas retreats and bounces off a Heartlander as it goes deeper into the Grizzlies zone. Yoon over to Thomas around Giannuzzi's net. He feeds it to the right side for Burke at center ice. Burke lifts it into the corner as the puck wobbles on its side. Iowa spins along the near wing boards. Thomas, left wing, fires towards the net. It got blocked. Fits in the corner, loses it as Iowa throws it out to center ice. Heartlanders carried across center. Grizzlies back defensively. Iowa left side drops off of the circle. Now across towards Kozier. He'll take a righty shot. And it goes wide as he tried to go top shelf on Giannuzzi. As Iowa around the net. They're now to the right side. Kozier back behind Utah's net as it glides to the far corner. Grizzlies get it as Martell up ahead to Cutler. Cutler dumps it in as Cutler ricochets it off the far wing boards and chases after it. He gets there in front of Kozier. As Martell tried to center it out in front, it bounced off an Iowa skate. As the Heartlanders far corner will tap it off the far glass. It goes over the head of a Grizzly. And it looks like it's no icing as Iowa's able to make a line change. 4 minutes left in the second. Grizz skate from right to left. As they move it ahead, right wing pass got deflected all the way deep in the Heartlanders zone. As Iowa feeds it back to the far side. Heartlanders carried across center. As a horizontal pass over to the right side, Iowa skates in. Lefty shot, saved by Giannuzzi. Rebound goes to Utah. Grizz carried across center ice. As Martell enters the zone, he gets challenged and feathers it around the wall. Ukura behind the goal line, challenges. Grizzlies hack away. Raby trips up a Heartlander. No call in front of the referee. Michael Zyla, left point. Mayhew throws it between a Heartlander's leg, and it goes to Iowa near side. As the Heartlanders throw it to center ice. Action's been going back and forth furiously here late in the second period. Iowa skates in left wing. They make a line change as they throw it to the corner, trying to kill some time. Grizz get it. They skate around Giannuzzi's net. Left side as Messner crosses center ice. Messner, the lone Grizzlies goal scorer. He skates in high slot. Lefty shot. Saved by DeRitter. He holds on with 3:04 left in the second period. It's Iowa 3, Utah 1 as action's gone back and forth. Very entertaining second period as Messner had a good look there down the middle. Took a lefty shot, and DeRitter made a glove save. It looks like both goaltenders are looking strong here so far. 3:04 left in the second period. We're hanging out in the Grizz Cave with Tim Broussard. Tim, it looks like both goaltenders are really settled in here.
Yeah, both. I'm impressed with both. Giannuzzi, now that he's got a little bit of help, he's seeing the puck, and honestly, he's doing just fine. I like the way that he's challenging up high. He's well in front of his crease and not hanging out for the back line, waiting for the play to come to him. DeRitter, a little bit more content to stay back, but he's got that level of support from his defense. He's a little bit more, I'd say, comfortable with the defense in front of him, and the way that both of them are playing, I feel like they're controlling the play in front and can see well, and they're getting their lanes, and they can choose how they're going to play the puck. Is it come into the body, or are they going to stick it to the side?
Seems like they're halfway through it. It seemed like earlier in the second period, Grizzlies had an advantage, but now it's Iowa who's taken 14 shots in the second period to the Grizzlies 10.
Yeah, that's changed, and it surprises me. Everything is still along the boards. What's wrong with the middle of the ice, guys? I saw him just for a split second go back to the middle, but our entry and exit on our breakouts and our entry into the offensive zone all seem to be along the boards or within 10 feet of the boards. Just something I've noticed.
Talk with Tim Broussard during the second intermission and get his thoughts on how the first 40 minutes have gone. We'll also go over some scores from around the world of sports. Draws in the right circle. Stapley wins it for Utah as Grizz in the offensive zone. As Utah throws to the corner, Messner's in the area. Messner's been outstanding tonight. He throws it back to the right point now across to Mayhew, who feeds it to the corner. He thought about chasing after it, but he hangs out in the point. Stapley chips it across. Grizz have a tap off Wesley's stick, who feeds it out in front. Bounced off the DeRitter, and Iowa clears it out. Utah gathers it back in their own zone as Mayhew, Grizz skate from right to left, ahead to center ice. Grizz cross center as Wesley got it poked away. Rolls back to Mayhew, who chips to the far side for Stapley, trying to get over to Wesley, cutting towards the blue line. Puck goes back to center ice where Stapley and Messner are hanging out with three Heartlanders. Battle along the far boards as it kicks towards Stapley. As Utah won that battle, Stapley out to the center ice logo, and the Grizz dump it in. Unidentified player skates off the ice as Iowa throws it out to center. I couldn't see who it was. Iowa skates in left side as they roll it along to the right corner. Thomas gets there before Tufto. Thomas and Tufto battle. It goes to Cutler. Tufto took it away near circle in the Grizzlies zone. Cutler gets it back. He'll carry it out to center ice left wing. Cutler near the Grizzlies bench area, moves it ahead to Penner. Penner left side, trying to center to bounce off an Iowa skate. Now near goal line, backhand shot goes wide. That was taken by Burke. Burke skates towards the far boards to get it. He moves to Wesley. Over to the left corner for Cutler. Cutler looks to center it, picked off in the near circle by Iowa. As the Heartlanders, Ben Brinkman moves it out to center ice, bouncing puck as Iowa comes up with the puck because they were 2-on-1 along the wall. Iowa skates in. Grizzlies back defensively. The Heartlanders. Miura throws to the far corner as Iowa wraps it around the wall. Goodsir's on the ice for Iowa, wearing number 19. As Iowa right side looks to center it out to the right circle. Righty shot is blocked as Thomas in the area kicks it as Martel. And over along the goal line, Tufto gets around Yoon. He's in the far circle as Yoon feeds it up top. Iowa left wing, lefty shot goes wide as the Heartlanders get the puck. They try to feather it out in front. Giannuzzi gets a stick as it's behind Utah's net. Now it gets kicked to the high slot. Nobody's there for Iowa as the puck on its side goes all the way into the Heartlanders zone. Grizzlies make a line change. 44 seconds left in the second period. Iowa re-enters from the far side as they skate towards the corner. Good defensive play by Utah as Dean Yakura skates around Giannuzzi's net. Left wing pass to Raby, who gets to neutralize. Raby gets challenged by Campolzi as Teixeira takes it. He skates in. Left circle, lefty shot kicked away by DeRitter. DeRitter wearing Minnesota Wild-themed pads as the puck goes back to center ice. Minnesota Wild in green as Semick ahead towards the blue line. Yakura gets cut off at center ice. Grizz skate back into their own end as Semick across to Teixeira near side. 7 seconds left in the period. Semick skates down the middle. He crosses center ice. He'll tap it off the far wing boards. Iowa chases after it, and that will do it for 40 minutes over at Xtream Arena as it was a 1-0 Iowa lead after 20 minutes of play. And then Davis Kosh redirected a Landon Kozier shot. Kozier was in the left point, and Kosh redirected it. He was nowhere near the net. On one of those plays, just bounced off his stick and just took that perfect angle past Giannuzzi. And then Mick Messner got his first pro goal. I think that was 3:46 into the second. It's listed as unassisted. And 40 seconds after Messner got his first as a pro, it was Jesse Jocks getting his 5th of the year. Jocks wearing number 88. And both teams had a lot of shots in the second period, but the last goal of the second frame came 4:26 into the second period. Interestingly enough, neither team has scored on the power play. So after 2 periods, it's Iowa 3, Utah 1. Remember, the Grizzlies did come back from a third period deficit against Wichita where they were down 4-2. When we come back, we'll talk some hockey with Tim Broussard and also go over some stats and scores from around the league. We're through 2 periods. It's Iowa 3, Utah 1 as the Grizz try to salvage the third game of this series. We're back in 2 minutes after this word from Rio Tinto Kennecott.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm. And our lights on. It's the power behind the team. And a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Shots. Welcome back to the Grizz Cave. As we're hanging out here in the lobby, it's interesting. Adam Goodser's got 6 shots for Iowa. I think I mentioned his name once. The Iowa numbers are pretty tough to spot when they go with that wide angle, but we're having fun in the Grizz Cave. Final game of the road trip. Grizzlies will be back home for a 3-game set against the Newfoundland Growlers, an Eastern Conference powerhouse. Don't forget the Grizzlies' next home game is going to be a Bud Light College night, and there's also going to be live music. Go to UtahGrizzlies.com for more details on the live music that I believe is going to be played at Maverick Center on Wednesday night, Black Friday. Grizzlies wear specialty jerseys for warm-ups. They would wear them for the game, but Newfoundland's just traveling their black jerseys, and obviously black jerseys against black jerseys would be tough. But it is what it is. Then Saturday is going to be a fun night as well. Thanksgiving week as the Grizzlies host the Newfoundland Growlers, who I believe are actually coming into town tomorrow. So they're going to be able to get used to the altitude here in the Salt Lake Valley. Maybe they'll go to Park City and have some fun for a day or two. So it's going to be a fun series. I think it will be the second series all time between the Grizzlies and Growlers. Utah ended up winning 2 out of 3 games against Newfoundland back in December of 2019. Well, Iowa led 1-0 after one period. Davis Kosh got his first of 2 goals in the game. Robbie Stucker with an assist. That was 2:12 into the game. That was the only goal in the first period. Iowa outshot Utah 16-11. In the second period, Iowa outshot Utah 14-11. We saw a ton of action there in about a 2-minute stretch there to start the second period. Kosh, it was a crazy redirection there. He was closer to the right circle than he was the net. Iowa skating from left to right in the second period. Kozier was in the right point. I couldn't believe it. We didn't really get an angle live on the goals. We had seen Kozier take the shot, but we didn't see the net. And so I thought maybe Kozier had scored, but considering where Kosh was and where the redirection was, as Peyton Jones, the Iowa backup goaltender tonight did, just tip your hat to Kosh. I don't know how he scored there on the redirection, but he did. Kozier picked up an assist that was 2:29 into the second period. And then right after a faceoff, I don't think Gallant, you'd say, won the faceoff, as he was more towards the right side, and it was a near circle faceoff. It went towards the end boards. Messner chased after it, got the puck, skated around Iowa's net, and just that simple wraparound, they got through. And Messner ended up picking up his first as a pro, and hopefully they're able to save the puck for him. He had some close calls in the Wichita series, but Messner's played good hockey, and he's probably one of the quickest of all the Grizzlies skaters. And he was certainly quick and shifty there on that move, getting it past Iowa goaltender Drew DeRitter, and that was 3:46 into the second. It's listed as unassisted. And you thought, okay, Grizzlies have some momentum, but 40 seconds later, Iowa entered the zone with momentum. Nick Campoli skated to the left circle, feathered it across to Jesse Jocks, and then Jocks with a righty shot, they got past Giannuzzi, and that was 4:26 into the second. That made it a 3-1 game, and it's kind of tough because you could see the Grizzlies picking up the momentum, and then bam, all of a sudden it's back to a 2-goal deficit. So you talk about the momentum swings, and it felt like there the first 5 minutes of the second period, you saw at least 3 or 4 momentum swings, and from then on, it seemed like both teams were able to get some chances. It looked like a pretty good end-to-end game. But it's still a 2-goal contest. The Grizzlies are going to be looking for a third period comeback. And really the big thing there is if the Grizzlies can't come back, that would mean that that Iowa would sweep the 3-game series. On Wednesday morning, Iowa won 3-2. They scored 2 power play goals on Wednesday. And then last night, it was a 4-0 Iowa victory. Iowa really dominated the first period, and then the Grizzlies, put together a good effort the final 40 minutes, but just, couldn't find a way to get one past Peyton Jones. It's Jones's second ECHL goal. He actually got a ECHL shutout. He actually picked up a shutout on May 23rd of 2021. It was the regular season. It was that crazy year where we started in December and the regular season ended in the start of June. Sasha Matala had 2 goals that night, and because it was his first 2 professional goals, the clown who does the 3 stars of the game at Maverick Center gave Mutala the number 1 star and gave Peyton Jones the 2nd star for getting the shutout. I think it was 28 saves. But hey, first 2 pro goals for Mutala. He played outstanding that afternoon. It was a Sunday afternoon, late in the regular season, and Jones was the 2nd star. Last night, Jones was the number 1 star with Davis Kosh, who had 2 goals and 1 assist that night, although that second goal was on the empty net. Kosh was the 2nd star of the game. But we're hanging out in the Grizz cave, having a good time as a Grizz. We're going to try to make a comeback attempt. Some other scores from the division. First intermission at Idaho Central Arena. Allen and Idaho are tied at 1. And through 2 periods over at Intrust Bank Arena in Wichita, Rapid City leads Wichita 3-2. Well, Tim, it was great to see Mick Messner get his first pro goal. The wild momentum swings right there where it looked like the Grizzlies were getting the momentum back once Messner scored, and then bam. It was just like somebody just stuck a knife in your windpipe there to make it 3-1. Just kind of a backbreaker there when it looked like the Grizzlies were finally able to get momentum in this series.
Agreed.
We'll
turn on the mic.
We'll turn the mic on again. But it was just tough seeing that 3rd goal there for Iowa because it felt like the Grizzlies were gaining something.
Well, even coming out of the break, I mean, Kosh's goal was like that was a legit dude perfect goal. You only see that, every once in a while, like on the, you're out there on a sheet of ice just screwing around. And I mean, as wide as it was in the deflection and in, I mean, Giannuzzi was in good position. It just found a way through. So, like Peyton Jones, hats off. All right, Let's move on. Messner's goal, it was just Messner's goal coming around, the speed that he has, and by the time he's at the back of the net, he's already turning his stick blade around to make that little tip in and caught DeRitter. I wouldn't say flat-footed because he has to honor the shot, but was quicker to the post than DeRitter was. And then, lo and behold, there comes another Iowa goal, and the Jacques coming in as late as he did, I thought he was a little bit unaccounted for. We didn't do a good job of our defensive shift over. Once we recognized that pass went another, a 3rd pass over east to west, and he had the time and space, and that's a dangerous thing to have when you got a shooter like Jacques.
Oh, it looked like we had probably 3 guys in the zone, but once he got that cross-ice pass over right side, he was all alone. Yeah,
and he had the seasonal parts, and he had his shooting lane, and that unfortunately, he had time and space to operate in, and at that, you're at a 50-50 chance, and Giannuzzi did his best, but it still found the back of the net.
After all that action there, the first 5 minutes of the second period, what really stood out to you in the last 15 minutes of that second period?
Gosh, what's wrong with the middle of the ice? How come we can't move it up the middle of the ice? I see our entry, like I mentioned before, our exit from the zone and our entry into the offensive zone, a little bit lacking, a little bit slow, like we're waiting for something to happen, or like with Martel when he's dancing around in the zone, he's looking for somebody. He's not just puck handling for fun. He's got his heads up the whole time, and he's looking for some cutter or another player, that triangle that they'll work off the back and have him move up into it. He's looking for that one guy to get separation and move in front of the net, and that's just not happened to the degree that they feel comfortable, like, oh, now we can pass it in and have success.
I guess on the ECHL website, you're following the game. Sometimes it's, you're talking about scoring chances, non-scoring chances. I guess you got quality shots and you got non-quality shots that they're keeping track on the ECHL website.
So this is one of my favorites. So if you look on the ECHL website, it has let's pull it up here. Okay, so you have non-quality shot on net, quality shot on net, and quality goal. I'm okay right now if we get a couple non-quality goals. Those greasy, grimy, they go off the back of the goalie or something, just blue collar goals where you're in there, you're digging, it goes off a body part, like Pinner, it doesn't matter how he scores a goal. If it goes off your skate or something, like not in a kicking motion, but to just get in there and just start generating. I think we are in need of a non-quality goal.
I'll take an own goal if it counts for the Grizzlies.
Absolutely. That I think that would also be a non-quality goal. So we'll just put it in the same category and call it good.
I felt like, they're going into the second period. That's the first goal of the second, certainly going to really, be the momentum change. It was Iowa that got it, but luckily the Grizzlies were able to respond pretty quickly to make it 2-1. here early in the third period, Grizzlies looking for a comeback attempt. I mean, how early into the frame are you hoping that the Grizzlies can find a way to get back on the board there to establish the fact that they're in this one?
7 to 10 minutes. You got to have a goal in the first 7 to 10 minutes, the way that this game is being played and the success that Iowa has jumping up into our passing lanes. And I could see them go in total Tulsa on this one, right? Where they just grind out the last 10 minutes if we don't have anything early and keep them honest. I don't see us having success after that if we can't get success in first 10 minutes. And obviously Kanaswich knows this, and he and Horner, they're drafting up something. It might be where you throw more, risk reward. You throw more of the defense. Texera is obviously skilled, and throw him up on the play. Wesley's got a bomb of a shot. Let's showcase that. And honestly, I'd expect to see a little bit more of an overload where we're going to move everything to the left side. For whatever reason, we seem to choose a left side on the boards, and then throw that east-west pass out to the right and get that one-timer. That was, previous Cedric Pare's office, and Martel is just as comfortable over there.
Any forward combination I think really stood out the first two periods? Seemed like Kanaswich kind of mixed things up a little bit there in the second.
I'm going to be honest. I was having a hard time tracking who was with who and who was having success and then who was due for a line change. I will say this, out of your usual culprits of finding people who are getting success at finding lanes, Martel is up there at 4, but how about Messner with 5 shots? That means 5 times he's found a lane in there on a game where we're not finding those lanes. So, if he's seeing something and he's able to work time and space against his, offensive or defensive counterpoint, whoever his assignment is on Iowa, to pick him up as he comes in the zone, hey, let's keep with that. If, have him draw back and then have 2 people crash, especially if you got Fitz and anybody else who up there with hands that can, be ready for a DeRidder rebound.
We're hanging out in the Grizz Cave. We got just enough light in here, and we're having a good time. We're her last game of the 3-game road trip, and glad to see some live hockey in the building next week when Newfoundland is in town. We'll come back, give you some scores from around the world of sports, and we'll also have third period action. We'll get Tim's thoughts right before the third period as to what the Grizzlies need to do to make a comeback. Remember, Utah did come back against Wichita last Friday, 8 days ago, where they overcame a 4-2 deficit. Martel scored 31 seconds into the third period, and then 2 Brandon Cutler goals, with Martel getting the main assist. Who's going to be Utah's hero tonight? We'll find out when we come back, as we're through 2 periods over at Xtream Arena. Iowa leads Utah 3-1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm. And our lights on. It's the power behind the team. And a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to Grizzlies hockey, as Iowa leads 3-1. Other action in the Mountain Division, Rapid City leads Wichita 3-2. That game is in the second intermission, and Allen and Idaho are tied at 1 through 1 period. Grizzlies' opponent next week, the Newfoundland Growlers, they get a 6-4 victory over Reading, as Newfoundland goes to 6-5-3 this season. Not a ton of familiar names on the Newfoundland side. Looks like Todd Skirving, who was with the club literally like 2 weeks in the 2017-2018 season. He's wearing number 15 for Newfoundland. He was scoreless tonight in a -2, but he's had a pretty good run in Newfoundland over the last couple of years. Zach O'Brien is back up with the Newfoundland's club. Seems like every year he's towards the league lead in points and plus minus and all that stuff. O'Brien had 1 goal and 2 assists and a +3 rating for Newfoundland tonight. Modry, one of their defensemen, interestingly enough, Jacob Modry's brother actually played for the Utah Outliers, and his father was a longtime NHL player. So they'll be in town next week, next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Face off all 3 nights will be at 7:10. Tonight, Newfoundland defeated Reading 6-4. In college football, tough day for the local teams. Arizona defeated Utah 42-18. Arizona ranked 17th in the country. They're now 8-3. The Utes fall to 7-4. BYU lost to Oklahoma 31-24. Utah State taking on Boise State late third quarter. Boise State leads Utah State 38-10. Boy, can Weber State save the day here for the local teams as they're just starting out the third quarter, second half over in Cal Poly. Weber State 20, Cal Poly 14. So kind of a tough day for the local college football teams as we're about set for third period action. Iowa leads 3-1. It's certainly going to be important for the Grizzlies to get that next goal, make it 3-2, and establish themselves that they're in this hockey game. Tim, it feels like first few minutes are going to be critical for the Grizzlies in their comeback attempts.
Yep, this is where you put your pedal to the metal and you make something happen. Vague terms, I get it, but you're going to have some really good passing, and if it means time of possession, then pull the puck back and try to set something up. And I did want to throw a shout out to our camera crew. You guys are so good. We'll mention you on a away broadcast. So thanks, Jed. Thanks, Trent, Jeff, Brandon, Jason, Adam. Appreciate you guys. And then also we have the best fan groups in the ECHL. I'm on all the divisional ones. I monitor them. I participate. Our fan groups are the best. And our Utah Grizzlies Hockey Fanatics group, Nadine Hallowell and company and everybody over there, just throw a shout out to you guys. We love you. We appreciate the support.
I love those fan groups, although it seems like the fan groups, a lot of the teams and a lot of the places, it's just there to bash the broadcasters, talk about how bad we are, but those are fun nonetheless.
It's fun to participate in, and you get a good group that's not too overly moderated, and everybody gets to vent. It's fun and it's participative as long as everybody keeps a cool head, and it's just a lot of fun.
Right, people keeping a cool head on Facebook. Good one, Tim.
But, hey, you can be optimistic. I'm optimistic the Grizzlies can, overcome a 2-goal deficit. I'm optimistic we can have fun on this hockey fan site.
I'm more optimistic in a Grizzlies comeback than I am Facebook being reasonable about anything.
That's funny, Tyson.
We're about set to start the third period as Utah will be skating from left to right in the third, wearing a white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim. Iowa skating from right to left in a black jersey with kind of a yellow outline on the numbers and a dark number, which tough break for me, huh? As draw is going to be at center ice. Calverley's going to be in the left wing. Coughlin will take the draw against Tyler Penner, and Derflinger out there also for Iowa. As Utah wins the draw, skating from left to right, Wesley moves ahead towards Burke. Goes past him, and it goes deep in the Iowa zone. No icing. As action behind Iowa's net. Drew DeRitter in his first game in Iowa and second game as a pro. Dante Giannuzzi, first pro game for Utah, has stopped 27 of 30. As Penner gets it back deep in the Grizzlies zone as he moves it ahead. As Utah crosses center ice, and Cutler dumps it in. Chasing after it's Burke. He collides with the Heartlander. As McKernan in front of the net, as Cutler feeds it out in front to Penner. Shot saved by DeRitter. Burke got held up with his stick. He couldn't get a shot off. Brinkman throws to the right side. As Burke had a look in the right side, but couldn't get a stick in the way. As Cutler right point shot, now rebound shot. And somehow it goes wide as DeRitter was diving. Burke had a look in the slot, but just couldn't connect. As near neutral zone, Iowa has the puck. 1 minute into the third period, it's still 3-1 Iowa. As McKernan out towards center ice, he dumps it in as Utah chases after it. Puck kind of slowly goes towards the end wall as looks like the crowd still having a good time celebrating Iowa's victory over Illinois in Big Ten football. Grizz skate in. Stapley over towards the right side, feeds to the corner. Stapley skates after it. Gallant on the ice as right point. Yoon throws to the high slot. Thomas fires towards the net. It bounced off 2 Heartlanders, and Iowa will carry it out of the zone. Diagonal pass towards Davis Kosh. He's got 2 goals tonight. He couldn't reach it. Goes deeper in the Grizzlies zone. Yoon chases after it and gets it before Kosh. As Yoon behind Utah's net loses it. As Tufto is being shadowed by Yoon. He slides it to the left point. Lelig throws it across. Iowa, right wing, righty shot goes wide. Giannuzzi goes down and gets back to his feet. As behind Utah's net, Messner skates towards the far corner. As he's shadowed by Kosh. Messner skates back behind Giannuzzi's net and stops and throws it to the far side. As Thomas, still in the Grizzlies zone, chips it out to the left wing. Iowa picks it off. It goes back to Thomas, who now throws it to the near side for Hume. Ahead to Raby. It goes past him, deeper in the Iowa zone. Hawkeyes backhand it towards the near wall as Kosh gets back checked, and Raby took it away. He skates towards the left wing, tried to dump it in, didn't get all the way to the corners. Raby gets held up. The officials will let him play here this week. As Justin Wells, number 14, big defenseman, throws to the near side as Iowa slides it to center ice. As Iowa veers off to the left with the puck as Jocks skates in, but the whistle blows as Iowa is called for offside. 17:25 left in the third as Jesse Jocks, who picked up Iowa's third goal of the game, looked a little bit confused there, but looks like he'll skate towards neutral ice. Jocks, a big forward, 6'2", 205 pounds, native of Minnesota. He played at Minnesota Duluth last year and had 9 points in 37 games. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone far side as Grizzlies had got a penalty somewhere along the way. Only 4 on the ice for Utah, so Iowa looks like they're going to be on the power play. Something must have happened away from the screen. Penner will take the draw against Tufto as it looks like Iowa's got a man advantage for 2 minutes. As Iowa wins the draw, right side, they throw it over to the right circle. Now they get it back up top as Iowa spreads the ice across to Kosh. He'll throw it towards the left goal line, now down the middle, and Utah picks it off and clears it out. So Grizzly skaters in the penalty box. Iowa resets offensively from right to left. Heartlanders lead 3-1. Utah has scored 1 shorthanded goal this season. Iowa crosses center ice with speed. Now they gained the line. Tufto throws to the right side as Iowa slides it back to the right point. As Kozier throws to the right side. Now Tufto, right wing, righty shot. Saved by Giannuzzi. Grizzlies get it. Mayhew will slide it all the way. They're actually lifted all the way, and it sails towards DeRitter, who's at the near goal line, and he'll drop it off. Iowa gets it back again as they throw a left wing pass towards Coughlin, who drops it off. Heartlanders cross center ice right wing as Iowa skates towards the right circle, now to the corner. Now they feed it back to the near corner. Up top for Coughlin, left side near the boards. He'll throw it back to the corner. Iowa slides it up top for Kozier, who feeds it to the left circle. Kosh now to the near goal line. They look to center. It glanced off a skate. Cutler gets it and he clears it out. Late in the Iowa power play, we're not sure is in the box for Utah. Looks like Dakota Raby got a slashing minor, and he's in the box right now. And looks like he'll be out pretty soon as he got the penalty 2:35 in. Iowa re-enters. They skate towards the near corner. Now they get it back to the right side as Iowa throws it back to the point as the Heartlanders late in their power play. McKernan throws to the right circle as Iowa dances around. As Campoli over to McKernan. He'll slide it to the left side as Jocks throws it off the boards. Iowa couldn't gather it. It goes up top for McKernan as he'll slide to the left side. One-timer saved by Giannuzzi. As Jocks had a good look from the left circle and Giannuzzi made the stop. As Iowa here very late in the power plays, Raby got the penalty 2:35 in, so he should be coming off the I can't do the current side math thing. I'm not sure how long Raby. He's going to be out of the box pretty soon if he isn't already. Draw's going to be in the nearest circle. Davis Kosh will take it against Utah's Dean Yakura. Yakura sporting a beard. Draws in the Grizzlies zone. 15:33 left in the first. Still 3-1 Iowa. As a draw won by Utah. They throw it to Raby. Fresh out. Well, I was hoping they were going to throw it to Raby fresh out of the box. Looks like he hadn't exited yet. As now Iowa gets it back. They throw it to the left wing. Heartlanders cross center ice, and they'll dump it in. As Giannuzzi plays it behind his net. Looks like we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Raby's on the ice. Iowa behind Utah's net. Chips out to the Kosh. Left side. Lefty shot. Saved by Giannuzzi. Teixeira gets the rebound. Iowa took it away. Heartlanders feed it out in front, and Utah recovers. They got a stick in the way. Grizz cross center ice with speed. Martell, right wing, fires towards DeRitter, and the Iowa goaltender covers up. 14:54 left in the third. Iowa 3, Utah 1. As Draw's going to be in the Heartlanders zone. As Iowa's up to 33 shots. Grizzlies with 23. Raby got a slashing minor, 2:35 in. Grizz did a good job on the penalty kill. Iowa's got a 3-1 shot edge here so far in the third period. Stapley takes the face off. He wins it, throws to Wesley. Now it goes back to Wesley, right point. Righty shot is redirected towards the end boards. Messner over to Stapley. Stapley gets dragged but keeps the puck. As Stapley in the left point gets challenged, and Iowa clears it out as Stapley went down. Mayhew chases after it. He gets it on the far side as Mayhew now around Giannuzzi's net. Giannuzzi's out of there. Must be a delayed penalty as Grizzlies going to get a power play. Mayhew gets dragged down. Iowa touches up the puck, and it's going to be a Utah power play. As Iowa argues the case, that's either Jocks or it's Campoli skating towards the penalty box. Looks like it's Jocks, as he can't believe it. He'll skate towards the penalty box with a very puzzled look on his face, as he'll enter the sin bin 5:30 into the third period. So Utah is going to get their first power play of the third, and we'll see if the Grizz can capitalize on the power play. Utah came into play 4 for 10 on the power play over the last 4 games. They were 0 for 1 tonight. So 4 for 11 over their last few games. And we'll see if Utah can cut into the Iowa lead. It's 3-1 Iowa. Utah wins the draw. Stapley on the right side skates towards the circle as he gets around Derflinger. As Messner back to Stapley, who chips over to the left side, but the pass was wide of the mark, looking for Martell. Wesley all the way deep in the Grizzlies zone gets it. Giannuzzi directs traffic as the Grizz get it towards Cutler. Across to Martell, across the center ice with speed. Martell skates down the middle. Iowa poked it away. Now taken by another Grizzly. Left wing, lefty shot, saved by DeRitter. As Messner took the shot, I believe, as they dropped it off. 14:04 left in the third. Draw's going to be in the far circle. Looks like Grizzlies going to keep the same 5 on the ice. Cutler will take the face-off. I think that's Messner to his left and Martell to his right. Up top is Stapley and I believe Wesley, who's off the screen. Campoli takes the face-off for Iowa. Utah wins it as Wesley throws it to the left side. Martell shot, his stick breaks as Martell will get a new stick from Jackson Hibbert. Iowa drifts along the near wall boards. It goes all the way into the Grizzlies zone deep. When Martell had a good look from the left side and his stick let him down. As Grizz gets a neutral ice near side. Wesley gains center. Tried to dump it in. Iowa challenges. Now the Heartlanders towards the high slot. Grizzlies recover as Iowa lost their stick. Grizz get it back as Cutler near side. Will now veer to the middle. Right wing pass to Martell. Martell lifts it in, and it goes over DeRitter's head and towards the far corner. Iowa clears it out. Heartlanders skate towards the near goal line. Centering pass. Shot. Saved by Giannuzzi. Giannuzzi out of his crease makes the stop as Iowa somehow had a 2-on-1 as they skated towards the right corner, found somebody cutting towards the net. As the pass connected, Coughlin was in front. He tried to go 5-hole, and Giannuzzi closed the door. As what a chance for Iowa there to get it shorthanded. They scored 1 shorthanded goal last night, and Coughlin had a grade A chance there with 13:18 left in the third, but Giannuzzi makes the big save, maybe the biggest he's made all game. Still 3-1, late in the Utah power play. Draws in the near circle as Coughlin will take it against Cole Gallant. Coughlin wins the faceoff as he skates towards the corner, surrounded by 4 Grizzlies. Gallant takes it after Utah won the battle. Gallant crosses center ice down the middle. Left wing chip off the boards to Raby. Lefty shot, saved by DeRitter. Rebound goes to Iowa, who clears it out. Giannuzzi skates towards the far corner. He'll get it to Mayhew. Late in the power play, Mayhew around the net. East towards the near side. Mayhew carries it across center. Left wing pass. Bounces towards Burke. Burke enters right side. Stops at the point and whips it around the boards. As Iowa whips it further along the wall. Giannuzzi behind his net will play it. As Iowa chasing after him. As Giannuzzi whips it to the near side. Utah at center ice. Burke ahead to Gallant. Gallant enters and he veers off to the left. Gallant stops in the left point near the boards. Gets to Burke in the left corner. Burke far side. Lefty shot. Saved by DeRitter. Hacking away is Raby. But DeRitter is able to hold on to it with 12:23 left in the third. As Gallant had a good look, he tapped it off the far boards to Burke. Burke kind of on a sharp angle took a shot. And DeRitter kind of awkwardly made the save as he was able to gather it. 12:23 left in the third. Iowa 3. Utah 1. I believe we're back to 5-on-5 skating as we'll return in 30 seconds as Iowa leads 3-1. Nobody has scored here so far in the third on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new Bean to Cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Still 3-1 Iowa. Grizz had some chances on the power play, but Tim Broussard just couldn't find a way to get one past DeRitter.
Yeah, DeRitter, it looks like he's struggling a little bit holding on. He's done really well all game from keeping the rebounds, and honestly, he's had to because we've been right there ready to pick up any loose change and garbage and dump it in. But just lately, last little bit, just not handling as cleanly, and hopefully we can opportunistically get one of those non-quality goals.
We're back to 5-on-5 skating as Jock's out of the penalty box. He served a hooky minor. Time of that penalty, 5:31 in. See if the Grizzlies can cut into the lead. Stapley will take the draw against Will Calverley. Actually, it looks like it's Odin Tufto, number 26. Tufto numbers to spot here this week as Stapley wins the draw. We're 5-on-5 skating. Yoon over to the high slot for Thomas. Fires towards the net. DeRitter makes a save. Rebound to the far side. Grizz skate from left to right here in the third period as Utah will skate towards their right. Stapley, right circle, skates in. Gets dragged down. Shot and scores. Jordan Martell gets the second goal of the game as Stapley got dragged down to the right side. Oh, the referee says no goal. And maybe they'll look at it. Maybe they'll take a second look as Stapley skated in from the right side, got dragged down. DeRitter went down, and then Martell slid it past the goal line. Stapley argues his case, and then the referee waved it off. Let's see. Stapley, they show a replay, skated to the right side as he was getting around Tufto. Tufto dragged him down, and then Stapley collided with DeRitter, and then Martell to the left side was able to slide it past the goal line. They say no goal, and now they're going to look at it. Video replay. It's either 3-1 Iowa or it's 3-2. So it looked like it would be Martell that would get the goal as Stapley was just trying to get around Tufto on the right side, got dragged down, got in, collided with DeRitter, and then Martell was able to score from the left side as he was near the goal line. As they'll look it over once again. I don't know if we'll see another replay on Flow Sports, but it's hard to say. I mean, you maybe could say, I don't know if it's goaltender interference or what the call would be that would disallow the goal. It looked like they said no goal as they're looking it over right now. Video replay. Right now it's 3-1 Iowa. Tim, I'm not sure why the goal would get disallowed. As Stapley kind of ran into DeRitter a little bit, but I think Stapley is getting dragged down by Tufto and just kind of fell naturally. What do you think?
Yeah, unless they're going to call Stapley on a type of interference where he got his arm back, which was minimal at best. I just don't see anything there that would prevent the goal being called. The only thing that we can't see from where we're at right now is when the whistle was blown. So unless the ref saw something and blew the whistle, but it seemed to be immediately that he was pointing up top, so he wanted a review. Honestly, I don't know what, at that point in the play, I don't know what he would be reviewing. It would look like a good goal.
And Martell scored pretty quickly after Stapley, was in the crease and more accidentally collided with DeRitter than anything else. They're continuing to look at it, and they might look at, it seems like the referee, Michael Zyla, and one of the linesmen have looked at it for quite a while. That's Grant Crowell, the linesman that's there with the tablet with Zyla. They had initially said no goal, and they're continuing to look it over. 12:07 left in the third period. Right now it's 3-1, but the Grizzlies could cut into the lead. As Stapley with a kind of a strong move to get around Tufto, and then ran in with DeRitter. As looked like Tufto kind of held Stapley up, kind of Stapley's left side, and that's where he got dragged down. And then Martell very quickly was able to get the puck and put it away. So this is a critical call in this game. Let's see where they're still looking at it. It's going to be a pretty tough call now. Remember, the original call on the ice was no goal. Now they put down the tablet. Well, hopefully the tablet works. It looks like maybe it works. Referee's now talking with somebody on a headset. Michael Zyla comes out. No goal, he says. And it seems like all week, quite frankly, the Grizzlies just haven't caught a break. And I'm not entirely sure why the goal would get disallowed. I mean, maybe goaltender interference. I guess if you're not going to call Tufto for kind of a holding type of penalty on Stapley, then, you're talking about kind of incidental contact. Wesley arguing the case with the referee. Zyla seems to be pretty convinced, but he was looking at the tablet for quite a while, so obviously it was a close call. This is one of those where I think if you're Ryan Kanasowicz, you probably throw a cow there, it's another break that kind of has gone against the Grizzlies. There was 8 minutes left in the third period on Wednesday when it looked like delay of game was going to be called, and then after after the officials talked it over for about a minute, they disallowed that. Wesley can't believe the call. It's just once again just a break that's gone against Utah. Wesley now reserved to the fact. Now the referee's going to go talk with Ryan Knaswich. I don't know if we're going to, it looks like now they're going to get back to live action. So no goal, and still 3-1. The Grizzlies looked like they had scored. Stapley will take the draw against Coughlin. I'm pretty sure Ryan Knaswich off the screen's letting the referee know. We'll talk with Tim Broussard here shortly about what he saw. As that's kind of, if you're an Iowa fan, you're happy with the no goal. And if you're a Grizzlies fan, that's a controversial moment. It was certainly a close play, but went Iowa's way. Utah wins the draw right side as Gallant gets spun around over in the corner as Messner will throw it up top. Corey Thomas, left wing, lefty shot, and a pad save by DeRitter. Now Messner, right and left wing, fires a shot, low liner that goes wide, didn't get all of it. As Stapley throws to Messner around Iowa's net. Messner being shadowed by Lelig as he gets to Gallant now up top for Thomas, back to Gallant as Grizzlies working the puck around, a lot of body movement. Stapley drops it off for Hume. It will tap it into the far corner. Gallant back behind the net for Messner, who kicks it back to the corner, far side. Stapley pushes Kozier. Gallant in the area. Gallant throws it back to the vacated corner. Kozier slides it to the near side as Coughlin over in the corner battles with Hume. Coughlin moves it ahead towards Calverley, who throws it out to center ice. And the puck at the Utah blue line glides to the far side. Hume gets the loose puck. As he'll fire a left wing pass towards Heartlanders territory. Pass goes wide. Iowa skates around their net, and goaltender Drew DeRitter as Burke throws it towards the side of the net, and the puck kind of stays on the side of the net. The whistle blows. The puck was just hanging on the side of the net. Penner is trying to break it free. The whistle blows with 10:57 left in the third. As draw's going to be in the Heartlanders zone near side. Penner in the area, as we'll see if he'll stay on. Looks like Penner will stay on. Cutler and Burke out there as well. Penner will take the face-off. Teixeira skates towards the forwards and figures out the game plan. As Penner will take the draw, the Iron Man against Jesse Jocks. Make that Nick Campoli. Jocks and Campoli have similar numbers and similar size. Utah wins the face-off. Left side, they feed it to the corner, does Jacob Semick. Far side, Penner battles as Iowa gains position. They get the puck. Heartlanders lift it in the air. It goes into Grizzlies territory as Utah throws it back into their own zone with the puck. As Grizz tapping off the near boards, Burke dumps it in from center ice. Chasing after it is Penner as he collides with the Heartlander far corner. Iowa skates around their net towards the near side. They'll tap it off the near wing boards. Teixeira battles. He gets the puck, wearing number 74. Over to Martel, who whips it around the wall. Cut off by DeRitter, and he'll drop it off. About halfway through the third period, still 3-1 Iowa, as Utah had a goal disallowed a few minutes ago. As Raby, left circle, lefty shot, saved by DeRitter. Martel skates to the near side as he skates towards the point, drops it off. Grizz, Teixeira fires towards the net, saved by DeRitter. Rebound goes to the near corner. Utah skates from left to right here in the third period. As Utah, near corner, gets hit. Martel takes the puck, throws it up top as Teixeira drops it off for Raby, who's held up along the wall. Iowa gets it, and they clear it out to center, where Teixeira will skate back into Grizzlies territory. He gets pushed along the near boards at the Utah blue line. Teixeira battles. Mayhew skates in and takes the puck. He'll throw it across to Martel, who slides it across to Yakura. Yakura to neutral ice. Left wing pass connects to the Rooster. Martel veers off to the right, and he fires it off the glass as play stops as Utah's called for offside. 9:28 left in the third. Tim, that no goal could have gone either way, but obviously, if you're looking at it from a Grizzlies fan's eye, you didn't see anything wrong with that to disallow the goal. What did you see?
The only thing is with him dropping his hand behind is that they might have determined that it was his initial inertia and his determined, he chose that course to go in and the path that he was going in on, and therefore took out the goalie and the goalie's opportunity to play the puck. And then when it went in, they're like, okay, well, that's you restricted the goalie's ability to play that puck, and therefore no goal.
I guess if you didn't see anything wrong with Tufto, who was kind of hanging on Stapley's left side, if you didn't see Tufto get a holding call or something there that influenced Stapley running into the goalie, then I guess that's the only call they can make.
Yeah, not that I agree with it. I'm just trying to surmise what it was that they're determining was, the factor for the no goal, because other than that, everything looked just fine.
3-1 Iowa. I think the disappointing thing here is the Grizzlies trying to make a comeback, and that could have been a critical goal there to get Utah back in it.
Yeah, that was at the 12:07 mark. That was where we had to have something in that first 7 to 10 minutes. Now we're really behind the 8 ball here. We got two goals we need in the next 10 minutes, and you're already starting to see Iowa go into their grind defense.
Draw's going to be at neutral ice after the Grizzlies were called offside, as Brett Stapley will take the draw against somebody for Iowa. As Utah wins the draw, they dump it in from just outside the Iowa blue line, as Messner battles with Kozier. Landon's his first name, as Iowa try to move it out. Grizzlies kept it in. Good job by Cole Gallant. Now Iowa will slide it all the way into the Grizzlies zone. No icing, says the linesman, as Wesley will whip it along the boards towards the near side. He goes past center ice and all the way deep in the Iowa zone, as 9 minutes and counting left in the third. Iowa still leads 3-1 as the Heartlanders looking for their 6th straight victory and a 3-game sweep. Utah is trying to avoid losing their 3rd in a row in Iowa, as Kosh gains center ice and he lifts it into the right corner. Mayhew over to Wesley, who slides it to Gallant. Gallant over to Stapley, left side. He crosses center ice. Stapley backhands it in towards DeRitter, as DeRitter gets the wobbling puck and covers up with Cole Gallant chasing after him. Whistle blows with 8:37 left in the third. Utah with an offensive zone face-off. And it's the 3rd road game for the Grizz. They're 0-2 so far on the trip. They lost 3-2 on Wednesday and 4-0 last night. Next week, the Newfoundland Growlers will be in town. Next game will be on Wednesday night, 7:10 at Maverick Center. Face-off will be at 7:10. Coverage at 6:50. And that should be a fun series. Second visit for Newfoundland to Maverick Center all time. Draws in the far circle, and it's won by the Utah. As Cutler fires it towards the net, it goes wide, and it glides along the near boards. Yoon chases after it. Giannuzzi stays in net, making his pro debut. He has stopped 31 of 34. Iowa along the right side, it's to the end wall. Thomas delivers a big hit as the glass shakes back and forth. Right point, Iowa chips it back behind Utah's net, taken by Thomas, as it goes back to the right point. Iowa fires it off a Grizzly skater. Utah gathers it and crosses center ice and dumps it in. Benner chases after the skipping puck, as Cutler over there with Nathan Burke. Iowa trying to clear it out. Burke gloved it, dropped it, and fired towards the net. It got blocked in the far circle, as now Burke gets it back at center ice. Horizontal pass, Grizz dump it in, as Iowa resets. Heartlanders, 7:43 and counting left in the third, lead by 2. As time is on Iowa's side, as they just stand behind Drew DeRitter's net. Raby skates towards them to initiate action, as Iowa now gets to center ice on 2 passes. They lose it at the Utah blue line. Grizz get it back as Utah enters. Martell skating towards the net, and the puck drifts back to the far side. As big hit delivered by Iowa, left wing, shot saved by DeRitter. As Iowa gets it the near goal line, they tap it off the glass, and it goes to center ice and into the Grizzlies zone. As Semick will fire it towards Teixeira. Teixeira around Utah's net. Grizz skate from left to right here in the third period as Martell got it to Stapley. As puck lifted at neutral ice, Stapley will skate towards his left. He's in Heartlanders territory. Right wing pass to Wesley, who skates to the circle. Wesley, righty shot, saved by DeRitter. Rebound to the near side as Iowa lifts it in the air. As looks like icing is going to be on Iowa. 6:43 left in the third as the whistle blows. Both teams will head towards Drew DeRitter. Well, Iowa started the season 0-4-2, and they've won 5 in a row, and they're looking to make it 6 in a row. As Grizzlies, Josh Wesley and Kyle Mayhew have played a ton of minutes here in the third period. We've also seen a ton of Keone Teixeira. And Mick Messner on the ice. He's in the right wing. Stapley will take the face-off. Gallant to the left. Utah wins the draw. Wesley over to Mayhew, left wing. Lefty shot goes wide. Gallant near goal line. Fanned on feeding across. Stucker throws to the left side as Mayhew will whip it around the boards. It goes slowly, and behind Iowa's net, a defenseman cuts it off. Messner in front of Iowa's net trying to initiate action as the Grizzlies have to be ultra-aggressive down to late in the third period. Iowa still behind their net. Kozier will throw it off the near wing boards. As looks like Iowa, they're just going to stand behind their own net the whole game. It looks like if they want until Utah initiates action. Now Wells skates down the middle, veers off to the left. He's still in Iowa's zone. Across as Iowa gets to center ice and kicks into the Grizzlies zone. Miner behind his net, drifts it to the near side. Utah lifts it out to center. Iowa gets it back. Heartlanders want to play a game of keep away and kind of watch the time run out. Iowa skates in, far side, shot is poked away before it got to Giannuzzi. As Penner throws to the far side, Grizz cross center and fire it towards DeRitter. It ricochets off the end wall as now everybody stops skating. Puck was trying to exit the zone. 5:34 left in the third as both teams will head to their bench area. Draw is going to be in the Iowa zone here. When we come back in 30 seconds, let's see. Looks like we're going to continue skating. Would have been the under 6 timeout. Draw is going to be in the Iowa zone. It's possible the Heartlanders got called for icing. I guess you had to be there to see it. Cutler will take the draw against Liam Coughlin. As draw kind of stays in the circle, Iowa picks it off. As they'll throw it to center ice, Heartlanders right wing dump it in. Giannuzzi's still in there. He's behind the net, and he'll feed it to the far side. Grizz skate from left to right. Utah crosses center. Cutler chips it to the right corner. Burke chases after it. Burke, the Bowling Green product, last 2 years, transferred from Minnesota. As Teixeira gets to the right point for Cutler. Back towards Teixeira, who swung and missed. Iowa's Davis Kosh lost his stick. He'll retreat and get it as Grizz back at their blue line. Move it ahead. Left wing now across to Martel. Martel gets it poked away. Iowa right side skates to the point and drops it in as Utah with the puck around Giannuzzi's net. Martel to Semick. Semick gets to the blue line of Iowa's zone and wraps it around the wall. Stuckey throws it back to center ice, and he goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. Arm is raised by the linesman, and icing is on Iowa with 4:39 left in the third. So almost looks like Iowa's trying to play a game of keep away. They don't really care if the puck just glides along the boards for 7 minutes. They're trying to watch the time run out. They're not even really all that concerned about the shot count. Right now, both teams have taken 34 shots. Seems like the shot count has been pretty close to even in all 3 games of this series. Iowa wins the draw. They'll throw it towards the far side as a bouncing off a Grizzly skater. Wesley kept it in left point. His pass to the corner is picked off by Iowa. Heartlanders lift it in the air as it's hit it by a Grizzly at their blue line. Wesley chases after it. Iowa pokes it back ahead. Heartlanders gained the line, but it looks like a hand pass is called. 4:18 left in the third. It's Iowa 3, Utah 1. We'll find out how this one ends together in 30 seconds after this word from Rio Tinto Kennecott.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Iowa 3, Utah 1. We're hanging out in the Grizz Cave at Maverick Center. Tim, down 2. When do you think Giannuzzi gets pulled for the extra attacker?
I'm going to go with about two minutes. They're going to need more than 1:30 if they're down 2. I think, that 2 minute, that 2:15 mark somewhere there. Watch for Giannuzzi, and what you're looking for is a time of obvious possession. You don't have to have it. You just have to know that your defenseman or your guy is going to have the puck, and then you're going to see Giannuzzi stage himself about 15, 20 feet out, and then he's looking for that call from Kanasowicz or Horn, and they're going to get the wave, and then he's off.
Announced attendance over in Iowa, 2011. 2011 is the announced attendance. 4:18 left in the third. Tim and I will talk during the postgame show about how this one ends. Neutral zone draw won by the Grizzlies. They skate over. Teixeira feeds the left circle. Lefty shot. Saved by DeRitter. Rebound Cutler towards the near boards. Make that Gallant. Now Messner. Right wing shot. Saved by DeRitter again. Well, Grizzlies had a shot from the left side. Then about 10 seconds later, Messner had a good look from the right. But Drew DeRitter has played a good game for Iowa. As it's still 3-1. 4:07 left in the third. As the way that looked from Messner. He was all alone. Right dot. Gallant was skating over trying to get the rebound, but DeRitter didn't give Utah a second chance. So Utah talking it over with Stapley. 4:07 left in the third. We can't see Utah's net to see if it's empty right now. As draw won by Iowa. As it looks like there's still 5 Grizzlies out there. As Iowa throws to center ice. As the Heartlanders, Giannuzzi is still in there. As action now in the Grizzlies zone. Utah has the puck skating from left to right. As Yoon Left wing pass as Grizzlies get to Gallant. Right side shot. And I think he scored. Cole Gallant cuts into the lead as there was a battle out in front. He went top shelf over DeRitter, and everybody stopped skating. I think Cole Gallant celebrating a goal with 3:45 left in the third. As it's now 3-2 as Cole Gallant was in the right circle and just went top shelf over the 5'11 Drew DeRitter. So Gallant gets his second of the season. He had 2 goals in 7 games with Trois Rivières at the end of last season. As Stapley slid it over to Gallant. Gallant right circle, and he went right over the right shoulder of Brett Stapley. That's going to be an assist for Stapley, who now has a point in 4 of his last 5 games. 3:45 left in the third. It's now Iowa 3, Utah 2. As Grizz now up to 37 shots, as Cole Gallant got his second of the year and 4th professionally. As Utah wins the draw, looking for the equalizer. Mayhew dumps it in as Iowa back behind their net. Chips over to the far corner. Grizz chase after it. Penner, right side near the corner, will wrap it back to the left corner as it goes to Cutler. Cutler towards the point, throws it back to the corner. Burke, a one-on-one battle with Tufto as Burke skates back towards the point. He'll tap it off the boards. Grizzlies fire towards the net, and it goes wide as Wesley, right corner, will whip it around the wall. It tapped off the glass. Iowa clears it out to center. Heartlanders chase after it. Martell in the area. As Iowa looks for a centering pass that goes wide as Iowa was cutting towards the net. As puck gets poked away, as Davis Kosh was in the area, as it flew into the spectator area, as the fan's going to come away with a souvenir. Draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone near side. 3:05 left in regulation, as the Grizzlies are buzzing here to try to tie it up. Smoke him if you got him. A 1-goal game here as Utah trying to salvage the 3rd game of the series. As Campoli will take the draw against Dean Yakura. Face-off won by Utah. As Yoon throws the Tekshera behind Utah's net. Left wing pass to Raby, who crosses center ice with speed. Raby gains the line and dumps it to the corner. As Raby and Martell chase after it. Martell trying to get back to the point. Puck stays along the end wall. Yakura surveying as Raby gets pushed. Yakura joins the play as Iowa chips to the near corner and chases after it. Heartlanders lifted out to center ice as it goes to the left wing. Now in the Grizzlies zone. Iowa stops to the near goal line with Tekshera shadowing as the Heartlanders feed it up top. Nobody was in the high slot as Iowa chases back after it in their own end. Wells throws it to the far side to neutralize back to Wells. He'll throw a left wing pass to center ice looking for Calverley that didn't connect. Giannuzzi behind his net over towards Yoon as Gallant near side will carry it out to neutralize. Gallant crosses center with the puck. Now he gets to Stapley. Stapley right side rolls it along the wall. Gallant feeds it towards the crease. DeRitter sticks it away towards the far side. Now it goes to center ice. Grizz 2 minutes left in the third. It's 3-2 Iowa. Grizz looking to tie it up. Utah tries to enter from the right side. Iowa pokes it away. Giannuzzi's still in there as Wesley skates around Utah's net with a long stride. 6'3" defenseman. He drops it off. Grizz out to center ice as Cutler taps it off the near boards. He chases after it in the near corner. Cutler gets it. Messner in the area as Cutler skates towards the far side, dresses it to the point. Now goes back over towards Cutler. Burke in the area. Martell as well. Utah's net is empty. Iowa fires towards the empty net and it goes wide. Icing on the Heartlanders. 1:29 left in the third. Utah's net is empty as the Grizzlies down by 1. And they'll take their time at neutral ice as icing was on Iowa. Does Ryan Kanasowicz use his 1 timeout? As there's only 2 players in the Iowa zone right now. As looks like Ryan Kanasowicz has used his 1 timeout. We'll keep it here. 30-second timeout for the Grizzlies as they try to drop a play to tie this game up. Grizz goals tonight scored by Mick Messner in the second period and Cole Gallant in the third. Brett Stapley should get an assist on the Gallant goal. Grizz also got an assist from Brian Yoon, who now has a point in 4 of his last 6 games. All of them coming as assists. First point for Yoon in this series. Grizz have taken 37 shots to Iowa's 34. Utah has outshot Iowa 15-4 in the third period. Both teams 0 for 2 on the power play. It's important for the Grizzlies to win the faceoff. They got a lot of capable shooters out there. And who knows, maybe Brandon Cutler's due. He had a big series against Wichita. So did Jordan Martell. We'll see if either of those guys find a way to tie it up. As there's 1:29 left in the third. Tim, what do you think the Grizzlies are drawing up here?
I think they're going to figure out exactly what they're going to do off an assumed face-off win, and they're going to pull it back, and then they're going to throw out their wingers out to the side, converge right in the middle, come in as soon as they gain the blue line, and then you're going to have that unaccounted for sixth man probably cut down right down the middle and head down low, generate some traffic on the goalie and where he struggled just a little bit, DeRitter.
1:29 left in the third. Staple will take the draw, but it's Iowa that wins it. They throw it to the near side. Grizz Gavitt as Cutler right side, dancing around the circle. Cutler with a lefty shot that goes wide. A lot of bodies out in front of the net. Mayhew cuts it off left point. He'll throw it to the far circle. Grizz get it back up top for Mayhew. Mayhew fires towards the net. DeRitter makes the save. Rebound goes towards Stapley as it taps off the end boards. Cutler chases after it in the near corner. He gets it. He skates towards the right point over to Wesley. One-timer, and it goes just wide. 1 minute left in the third. Cutler gets held up. Iowa trying to carry it out of the zone. Wesley kept it in, fires towards net. It's blocked about 10 feet in front of DeRitter. Left point. Puck exits the zone. Grizzlies at center ice have it. Wesley chips it off the near side. Burke couldn't handle the pass off the boards as Iowa sails it towards the empty net. Bouncing puck skips towards and goes just wide as it bounced off the near post. Boy, looked like he missed it by that much, as Maxwell Smart would say. Boy, Iowa came within inches of putting this baby on ice, but icing's the call. 39 seconds left. Same six on the ice for Utah. Grizz hands on knees as it was a long shift. Stapley takes the draw as he wins it. Cutler right side on two knees. Gets back to his feet. 38 seconds left. Martell in the corner. Up top for Cutler. Cutler skates towards the right circle. Gets to Martell near goal line. Feeds it out in front. Shot goes wide. Iowa clears it out. 25 seconds left. Wesley gets it. Utah's net is empty. He'll throw a left wing pass to center ice. Grizzlies enter from the left as they'll wrap it around the wall. Right side as Iowa gets the puck. They'll throw it to the near corner as Iowa will let it go out of play. Is it delay of game or did it get redirected off the glass? Looks like it went off the glass. 11 seconds left in the third. Utah's hoping delay of game gets called, but looks like it won't. They're just going to get a new puck. 6-on-5. Utah's net is empty. The Grizz need to win the face-off and see if they can find a way to get a look to tie it up as Iowa leads 3-2. It's possible maybe they did call delay of game. As draw's going to be over in the near circle. Looks like there's just 4 out there. The penalty box store looks like it's open on the Iowa side. So it looks like it's possible delay of game is called on the Heartlanders, as the fans that did make it to Xtream Arena look like they're having a good time. Looks like there's a few mustaches, maybe some fake mustaches as well. For the second time in the third period, the referee is at the tablet, and that was an important part in the game. 12:07 left in the third period. A goal that looked like it was scored by Martell was waved off due to, we believe, goaltender interference by Brett Stapley. They're looking at the tablet once again. Unless they change the rules, the only thing you can really calculate is the goal line. Did the puck cross the goal line? Is it possible Utah might have scored a goal there that we didn't know about? As I don't know if there's not a whole lot of things that are reviewable plays in this league outside of the goal line itself. A puck went out of play with 11.7 seconds left. Grizzlies might have thought either delay of game was called or something that or there was something else there, but they're looking at the tablet right now. It's 3-2 Iowa. 11 seconds left as the Heartlanders trying to complete a 3-game sweep. Utah trying to end the losing streak right at 2. As they're taking a long look at the tablet right now. Hard to say what they're looking at. As whatever they're looking at, we haven't seen a replay. Which they probably don't in case the crowd, as big as it is with 2,000 there, gets them excited, I guess, if they show the replay. So they're not showing it right now. They're taking a good long look at it, though. 11 seconds left. Grizzlies did have 1 or 2 looks. Grizzlies wanted delay of game. Whether that's a reviewable play, I'm not sure. Faceoff's going to be in the right circle as the referee was and the linesmen were pointing. It's hard to really say what they're looking at. It didn't look like the time. Didn't look like there was anything odd with the clock. I think they were probably talking about delay of game, but I don't, unless they change the rule, I'm not sure if that's a reviewable play or not. They're continuing to look it over on the tablet here late in regulation. High drama over at Xtream Arena. As they're looking it over again. Iowa led 1-0 after one as Davis Kosh scored his first of 2 goals in the game. And then Kosh redirected a Landon Kozier shot, 2:29 into the second. Mick Messner got his first of the pro for Utah as a pro for Utah, 3:46 into the second. Jesse Jocks made it 3-1, 4:26 into the second. Grizzlies cut into the Iowa lead, 16-15 into the third as Cole Gallant got his second of the year with Brett Stapley and Brian Yoon getting the assists. They're continuing to look it over on the tablet as now the referee gives the tablet to somebody else. And he waves both hands in the air. Maybe they thought the Grizzlies scored a goal, but they waved off the goal. We never did see a replay to see what they were looking at, but looks like we're just going to play on. 11 seconds left in the third. Critical face-off. Stapley will take it for Utah against Iowa's Liam Coughlin. Stapley's taking the big face-offs for Utah here in the last 2 minutes. As off the draw, Utah wins it. Mayhew, right side shot goes wide. 5 seconds left. Utah to the left point. Wesley bobbles the puck 2 seconds. Puck's out of the zone, and that will do it. Iowa gets the 3-game sweep as Brandon Cutler argues the case. Coughlin, right after the face-off, swept the puck with his glove. And the Grizzlies are furious. They think a hand pass should be called there. It wasn't called. Grizzlies did get a shot off towards DeRidder in the final 10 minutes, but the Grizzlies think a whistle should have been blown there as Liam Coughlin, right after the faceoff, took his glove and just kind of swept the puck towards the point. Grizzlies couldn't believe it, but everybody goes to congratulate Drew DeRidder, and unfortunately from the Grizzlies' perspective, didn't really catch many breaks, and Iowa completes a 3-game sweep. Final score, Iowa 3, Utah 2. The Grizz continue to argue their case, as looked like they thought a whistle should have been blown there with a few seconds left, and Utah should have gotten another chance. Just a tough week for the Grizzlies over in Iowa. And the Grizz are furious. It's one of those that you talk about that no goal, and whatever they looked at with 11 seconds left that was called a no goal, and how the final 10 seconds played out. And it just felt like the Grizzlies, for whatever reason this week, are snake bitten. As Josh Wesley arguing with the linesman, Utah thinks they should get another chance. But it just wasn't the Grizzlies' night, and it just, quite frankly, wasn't the Grizzlies' week. As Iowa sweeps the 3-game series, they won 3-2 on Wednesday, 4-0 last night, and tonight is a 3-2 final. So post-game show starts in 30 seconds, as the Grizz will be home for a 3-game series against the Newfoundland Growlers, with the next game being on Wednesday night, a Bud Light College night on Wednesday, November 22nd. Final score from Xtream Arena, Iowa 3, Utah 2. We're back in 30 seconds for the postgame show on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Them's the breaks, I guess, as Grizzlies felt like all week just couldn't catch a break over in Iowa. Final score, Iowa 3, Utah 2, as the Grizz were swept in a 3-game series, losing 2 one-goal games, and then Friday getting shut out by Peyton Jones, a 30-save shutout, Iowa winning 4-0. With about 10 seconds left, face-off right there, and it looked like Coughlin kind of took his glove and kind of shoveled it away. What'd you see on that final surge there?
It could have been called either way. The Grizzlies actually had a point. Coughlin did go down and touch the puck with his hand unnecessarily, and then made a sweeping motion. The asterisk there is that Brandon Cutler's stick was also there at the same time. So from the linesman point of view, he could argue that, it actually went off Brandon Cutler's stick, which case it's a good play.
On that play, it looked like they reviewed with 11 seconds left. have absolutely no clue what they were looking at. We assume maybe they thought there was a potential goal there, but I'm not sure what they were looking at there with about 11 seconds left.
Yeah, it had to have happened earlier in the series, and I haven't had a chance to obviously to go back and look at it, but they can obviously review it, but that would have been the only thing that they could have been reviewing because, obviously with it going out of play and the linesman making the immediate action that it had been deflected, that was not even reviewable as far as I know. So
unless they changed the rule, of course, this year.
Or, for this game, like I'm more concerned about the no goal at 12:07 that cost us, the what would have been, the going at least, 3-2 at the time and causing that problem. So it's frustrating that we weren't able to gain the momentum or do anything with it after that, but to have that called against it, I think it was like, just took the wind out of your bag because here you go, you score a goal. It looked to me good, and unfortunately it didn't count.
But between the no goal and all those things, it felt like the Grizzlies just couldn't catch a break this week, and felt like there was a couple things that could have gone either way on Wednesday, and the Grizzlies couldn't catch a break there, and it's just it's kind of tough. I mean, Iowa's now won 6 in a row, but going into this series, I'm a little bit stunned right now because I wouldn't have thought that Iowa, despite being at home, that they would sweep the Grizzlies in a 3-game series.
But okay, so how did that happen? Why did that happen? Slow starts in every single one of the games, and not just a slow start, but it cost us on the scoreboard, and immediately we're put in a position where we're already playing catch up going into the second. And then after that point, it was just a matter of by how much. You can't give a team in the ECHL, what was it, 11-4?
Yeah.
Or 16-11 on this one.
But they took the first 10 shots.
Yeah, exactly. We were at, we were over at 10:30 mark of the first. And then, we were at, before we get our first shot on goal. We can't do that. And we were just hoping for just the opposite. Okay, we'll get a good start and get everything going. And that is not what happened. And it was indicative of the pressure that we were getting. It wasn't just, non-quality shots. It was no, those are some decent shots that Giannuzzi was facing.
And if you look across the league, it seems like every team in leading after 2 has got an outstanding record. It's tough to come back, especially from 2 goals like they were tonight. I mean, they're able to do that against Wichita 8 days ago at Mavericks Center, but it's tough to do that on any sort of consistent basis. The Grizzlies put together the effort, but it feels like when you're down 2, you have to have just about everything go right. Utah scores a goal, it gets disallowed. It's just almost like you need to catch a break here or there to come back in a game. And unfortunately tonight, Grizzlies just couldn't catch a break.
Right. And to the Grizzlies' credit, they needed a big third, and they did get a big third. They got, 17-4 on shots. But the problem is that I called it out just before the 10-minute mark. Iowa had already gone into the Tulsa grind, and Iowa is very, very good about keeping the play pushed out of the middle and out to the boards. And for the most part, that's where it was at. Giannuzzi got some traffic in front. Yep. But did they give up another goal after that? Not really.
Let's recap the scoring. Iowa led 1-0. Davis Kosh got his 6th of the year and first of 2 in the game. The original shot was taken by Robbie Stucker from the right side. It bounced off of Giannuzzi, and Kosh got the rebound and put it away. That was the only goal scored in the first period. It was 2:12 in. Iowa outshot the Grizzlies 16-11. A lot of action in the first 5 minutes of the second period. Kosh got his 2nd of the game as he redirected a Landon Kozier shot, and that was 2:29 in. That made it 2-0 Iowa. Later on in the period, 3:46 in, Mick Messner on a wraparound shot got it past Drew DeRitter. It was Messner's first professional goal, and it seemed like a long time coming, but Messner certainly has been playing good hockey over the last couple weeks. His unassisted goal, 3:46, cut into the lead, made it 2-1. Jesse Jocks made it 3-1. He scored 40 seconds after Messner tallied Utah's first goal. It was 4:26 into the second as Jocks got a pass from Nick Campoli. Campoli was in the far circle, threw it across to an open Jocks on the right side, and Jocks fired it past Dante Giannuzzi. Iowa led 3-1 after 2 periods. The only goal scored in the third that counted, Cole Gallant, 16-15 in, score from the right side as he fired it over the right shoulder of DeRitter. Brett Stapley got the main assist, and Brian Yoon with his 4th assist of the year. Yoon's got an assist in 4 of his last 6 games. When the score was still 3-1, 12:07 into the third, looked like Brett Stapley had scored. Actually, Stapley was near the crease, got dragged down, collided with DeRitter, but the puck ended up to Martel on the far side. Martel put it away, and he put it away pretty quickly, but they went to the Referee waved it off. They looked it over on video replay for quite a while, and they decided to stick with the call of no goal. And that kept it a 3-1 game. And it's just breaks like that, it seemed like all week, ended up going Iowa's way as the Heartlanders complete the 3-game sweep. Both teams were 0 for 2 on the power play. Special teams didn't really play as much of a factor in this one as it did the first 2 games of the series. And just the way it went. Mick Messner led Utah with 8 shots. Messner, Stapley, and Brian Yoon were each a +2 for the Grizzlies tonight. So you talk about some standouts there. For Iowa, 2 goals for Davis Kosh. He was a +2 and had 5 shots, 3 stars of the game. Jesse Jocks scored the game winner, 4:26 into the second. It was Iowa's third of the game. He's the third star. Second star, Drew DeRitter, who stopped 37 of 39 in his Heartlanders debut. Second game as a pro. Number 1 star, Davis Kosh, who scored the first 2 goals of the game. Kosh a +2 and had 5 shots. Dante Giannuzzi looked solid in his professional debut. He stopped 31 of 34. He didn't see a lot of action there in the third period, but Tim, a pretty strong first impression that Dante Giannuzzi left.
Yeah, he's going to do just fine. And that the second goal, the Kosh goal, the dude perfect goal that, 1 in a million. Okay, great. But other than that, I felt like he played comfortable. He was square to the puck after the first little bit, say first 7 minutes, 10 minutes of the first, and he was able to control his rebounds. Defense in front was used to, everybody was adjusting to each other, and I thought we did just fine. He did just fine and real comfortable.
Iowa wins 3-2. It might have been that shot there. There was Yoon and Messner in the area. They showed a replay. It might have been that either hit the post that they were looking at that, looked like from my angle could have gone in. I mean, I remember there late in regulation, there was a shot that there for half a second. I thought, did that go in? I don't even know if it was probably well in advance. It was probably a couple minutes before. It was probably, with a couple minutes left in regulation there was one that I thought, but I thought there was a few whistles after that where I thought they could have gone back and looked at it before there was 11 seconds left in regulation. But I guess it just is what it is. Unfortunately for the Grizzlies here over the last week, there's a few couldas, wouldas, and shouldas there. And, it's just, you talk about this 2-week stretch, winning 2 out of 3 against Wichita, but getting swept by Iowa. Grizz fall to 4-6 this season. It almost feels like next week, even though it's still very early in the year, it feels like a big series where the Grizzlies need to win at least 2 out of 3 against a pretty good Newfoundland team. Yeah,
so Newfoundland coming up, things aren't going to get any easier. So, you're going to face a Newfoundland team that, 500, right now, but over the course of the last couple of years, definitely championship caliber hockey that's being played out of there. So I wouldn't expect anything to get any easier. You're going to have to clean up your passing. We're going to have to clean up a lot of things in the decision-making process, how we're going to enter the offensive zone as a unit. Who's going to be bringing up the puck. And I thought there was a little bit of not necessarily missteps, but maybe indecision. And as the pace that the game is played with, everything has to happen absolutely, in a snap of a moment. And I think we were just lacking behind that. And I think we kind of cost us, a lot of opportunities, not necessarily the game, one particular play, but overall, I think we were just chasing the puck versus being ahead of it.
And +2 for Yoon, Stapley, and Messner. It kind of fits. Stapley's really been a strong performer for the Grizzlies. He was outstanding last year in Trois Rivières. Brian Yoon has really settled in and played nicely. It seems like the first 9 games he was playing almost exclusively with Teixeira, but tonight it looked like he was with Corey Thomas most of the night. And, Mick Messner, you talk about a guy that just continues to impress game in and game out as he's really coming into his own as well.
Yeah, I mean, besides getting your first pro goal, or you've got 8 shots to show for it and a +2 on a game like this. Well, outstanding effort to Mick Messner, and the goal that he did score on, that was all wheels. And like I said, he had the blade turning on his stick to do that wraparound in before the goalie, I even think, who knew where obvious possession was. And so kudos to him for jumping on that and have that puck awareness to put that in.
You can't forget about Cole Gallant. It's kind of fitting he got that goal in the third period because it seemed like there towards the end of the Wichita series, and he had some good looks on Friday as well. And it just felt like it was a matter of time before Cole Gallant was going to get a goal like he did in the third period.
Yeah, and that was the one time they went from end to end. It wasn't like this massive 5 minutes in the zone, passing and all that. No, it was quick up and down, the immediate transitional offense. We gained the zone and out to Gallant for a blast. Well, that's exactly what we needed, but we didn't get enough of that throughout the game. And we had the where we were running plays in the middle of the second, and I think we're doing better about offensive time of possession. We just didn't have anything to show for it on the board.
Iowa 3, Utah 2 as we're hanging out at Maverick Center in what we're calling Grizz Cave. I couldn't come up with a better name, so I think that's what we're going to go with. What's going to be great next week, though? We're going to see live hockey in the building as the Newfoundland Growlers will be in town for a 3-game set. It's going to be a Bud Light College night on Wednesday, and there's also going to be some live musical performances at Maverick Center as well. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. Black Friday is going to be a lot of fun as well. It's an AFC Friday where tickets start at $10 when you pay using your AFC debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office, and Saturday should be a lot of fun as well. Make a note, a couple homestands from now, December 9th is going to be the annual Teddy Bear Toss, and it's going to be Ugly Sweater Night. So for me, I'm just going to wear what I normally wear for Ugly Sweater Night, and it should be good enough. And it's also Teddy Bear Toss Night. We had a good showing of teddy bears last season of about 2,200, and we want even more this season. So make sure to make a note to get your tickets for the December 9th game as the Grizzlies will take on the Allen Americans in the last of a 3-game set, and that should be a fun night at Maverick Center. But tonight, it was just Iowa getting the 3-2 victory, 2 1-goal losses for Utah as they fall to 4-6. Iowa's winning streak extends to 6 games. They are now 6-4-2 on the season. Tim, any final thoughts? Kind of a wild 3-2 game, but just Grizz came out on the short end.
Yeah, just the 2 thoughts, and that's number one, we're going to have to do something about coming out of the gate earlier. I think, with the exception of 1 or 2 games all year, we've yet to come out and establish what we want to do early. I think we've been victims of the system of another team and adapting to it and then overcoming after the fact. I don't think that we've established anything that we've wanted to do early to include passing or shooting or lanes or anything like that. It seems like we're playing this continual game of catch up early, and that hasn't been the way that we've played in the past. And then the second thing is overall, I think our decision making and our pressure, that the decisions that lead to, are we jumping in on the player? We going to play a man, we're going to play a passive zone or whatever. I think we do better when we play an active pressure game versus kind of playing off and waiting for the play to come into us. I think we play higher with that up tempo, that high speed, that the in your face, and also maybe playing a little bit more grumpier. I'm not a fan of the polite hockey thing in professional hockey. So I think maybe getting a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of an edge. Where's Travis Howe when you need him?
He's in the AHL right now doing damage. Travis Howe has earned a spot in the AHL. Unlike there was an article about him, showing like all the fights he was in. From what I know, he's not Gordie Howe's grandson, just happens to play hockey and share the same last name, and he's doing some good things over, I believe, with the San Diego Gulls. That was a lot of fun tonight. Camera angles are pretty okay. Hey, knock on wood, the screen didn't freeze on me tonight like it did in the first period last night.
Yeah, heavens, that's got to be frustrating. And kudos to you, Tyson. I don't know how you do it. I think at some point in about the middle of the first minute of the first period, I would have been peace out. You guys enjoy. I can't call this.
I don't think I did a good job tonight. I'm not sure the people on YouTube really understood what I was saying, but hey, we tried to do the best we can and have a good time as well.
Sounds good, man.
Well, it was a fun night of hockey. Unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, they just fell a goal short. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. They're not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, in 2 hours and 30 minutes and in front of 2011 over at Xtream Arena, the Iowa Heartlanders defeat the Utah Grizzlies 3-2. Mick Messner picked up his first goal as a pro, and Cole Gallant with his second of the year for Utah. Davis Kosh had 2 goals for Iowa, and Jesse Jocks ended up with the game winner, 4:26 into the second period. For Tim Broussard, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. Next broadcast will be on Wednesday night against Newfoundland. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 at Maverick Center. We hope to see you there. If not, we got the game on Flow Sports and YouTube as well. I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. Talk to you on Wednesday. This has been the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.